Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Drama on this Sunday with a wonderful CBS Radio Workshop episode, The Legend of Annie Christmas, William Conrad's narration, and a delightful performance by Amanda Randolph. We'll also have an episode of The Shadow starring William Johnstone from 84 years ago, Nick Carter, Master Detective Lon Clark from 78 years ago, Jack Webb in an episode of Dragnet, The Big Pill from 73 years ago, and we wrap it all up with an episode of Blum and Abner. That's coming up on this Sunday. This is the 19th day of October, 292nd day of the year, 73 days left till we get to 2026. At Yorktown, Virginia, on this date in 1781, British Commander Lord Cornwallis surrendered to a Franco-American force led by General George Washington, and they Comte de Rombachaux, paving the way for the end of the American Revolutionary War. 1873, Yale, Princeton, Columbia, Rutgers universities drafted the first code of American football rules. Love Field in Dallas opened on this date in 1917. In 1933, Germany withdrew from the League of Nations. 2 years later, the League of Nations placed economic sanctions on fascist Italy for its invasion of Ethiopia. In 1943, streptomycin, the first antibiotic remedy for tuberculosis, isolated by researchers at Rutgers University. It was on this date in 1953, Arthur Godfrey fired Julius La Rosa live on television.
Thanks ever so much, Julie. That was Julie's swan song with us. He goes now out on his own, as his own star, soon to be seen in his own programs, and I know you wish him Godspeed, same as I do. This is the CBS Radio Network.
Godfrey would cite a lack of humility, and La Rosa's decision to hire an agent as reasons for the firing stemmed from La Rosa's defiance of Godfrey's strict control over his performers, including restrictions on outside work and representation. It did not kill Julius La Rosa's career. In fact, the firing propelled him to new heights. He had a hit record after that. E Compare reached number one on one chart, number two on another. He had his own summer TV show, got nominated for a Daytime Emmy Award in 1980 for his role on Another World. Soap opera. In 1973, President Nixon rejected an appeals court decision to turn over the Watergate tapes. 1974, President Ford directed federal agencies to cut energy consumption in the wake of an oil shortage.
Unless there is an early end to the Middle East crisis, we are going to have to choose between driving our cars less or closing down certain schools, factories, and office buildings, as well as going cold in some of our homes for periods of time this winter.
Between the oil crisis and inflation issues, the President Ford could not catch a break. It was on this date in 1982, John DeLorean arrested for trafficking in cocaine.
DeLorean was arrested this afternoon at approximately 3 p.m. in the vicinity of the Los Angeles airport after arriving here from New York. Now, arrangements had been made. We are prepared to charge in our complaints to between Hedrick and DeLorean for the delivery of approximately 100 kilos of cocaine, which were to be purchased by DeLorean for distribution in Southern California.
DeLorean would later be acquitted of all charges. Another one of those situations, indicted on page 1, acquitted on page 72. The first Blockbuster video store opened in Dallas on this date in 1985. In 1987, in retaliation for Iranian attacks on ships in the Persian Gulf, the Navy disabled 3 of Iran's offshore oil platforms. Black Monday on this date in 1987, the Dow Industrials fell by 22%. The Dow Industrials fell 508 points to 1,738. The broker talked about the nature of the fall.
Been sitting at this desk for 12 years. I've not seen panic like this ever. I have records back all the way into the 20s. In 1942, we had some panic in 29. But this is global, and it's feeding on itself.
New York Stock Exchange Chairman John Phelan said it was a devastating day for the financial markets.
Whether today was a financial meltdown or not, it's certainly as good a one until one really comes along. So I wouldn't want to be around for one that's worse than this.
And I always when I talk about markets on the air, I talk about the percentage change, never the points. I might mention the points, but here's the deal. A 508-point fall in the Dow today would be less than 1%. Back then, in 1987, it was almost 23%. So you always look at the percentages because that makes a difference. Now, Mother Teresa beatified by Pope John Paul II on this date in 2003, moving her to sainthood. 2005, Saddam Hussein went on trial in Baghdad for his crimes against humanity. Those passing on this date in history include actor Gig Young, the wonderful Martha Ray, half of the Road Warriors, Road Warrior Hawk, also actor Tom Bosley, Mr. C in Happy Days, wrestler Mike Graham, and from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and The Windmills of Your Mind, the son of Rex Harrison, Noel Harrison, all passing on this date in history. Among those born on this date who are no longer with us, including the wonderful jazz drummer Cozy Cole, muckraking journalist Jack Anderson, actor Robert Reed, the second Dumbledore after Richard Harris's death, Michael Gambon, and actor Divine, all born on this date in history. They have left this mortal coil.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
Psychedelic pop artist Peter Max. You remember all of his pop art back in the day? 88 years old today. George McRae, Rock Your Baby. 81 years old today. The man who won 2 Tony Awards, 6 Emmy Awards, 2 Golden Globe Awards, 3 Screen Actors Guild Awards, an American Comedy Award, 4 Drama Desks Awards, and yet we still remember him as an alien in Third Rock from the Sun. John Lithgow is 80 today.
What are you, from Mars?
Mars? Oh, no. People of Earth, we come in peace.
John Lithgow, 80 years old today. Country singer Jeannie C. Riley. She's also done a lot of gospel, but I remember her Harper Valley PTA. 80 years old today. From Extreme Makeover Home Edition, Ty Pennington is 61.
I'm Ty Pennington. This week, we're in Connecticut, and the renovation starts right now.
Wonderful concept for a show, but it always ended up that people ended up having too many people had to give up the homes that they got made over because they couldn't afford the taxes on them. Ty Pennington, 61 years old today. South Park's Trey Parker is 56. Saturday Night Live's Chris Kattan is 52. Community's Jillian Jacobs is 43. And from The Young and the Restless and Life in Pieces, Hunter King is 32. Those just a few of the people celebrating the 19th day of October as their birthday. And if this happens to be your birthday...
Hi, we're the 4 freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you!
Now on this Sunday Classic Radio Theater, we're going to go back 69 years to October 19th, 1956. Amanda Randolph and William Conrad. The CBS Radio Workshop production of The Legend of Annie Christmas is next.
Driving tonight? Then remember this. Most highway deaths are caused by two temptations, to cut out of line and to go too fast. Crossing the center line of the road is more dangerous than you realize. Statistics prove it. Excessive speed is just as dangerous as officials say. You can predict your own impulses, but you can never predict the other drivers when driving tonight. Drive cautiously, please.
Now another wonderful production of the CBS Radio Workshop, 69 years ago. Amanda Randolph, William Conrad, and the Legend of Annie Christmas.
From Hollywood, CBS Radio presents the CBS Radio Workshop, dedicated to man's imagination, the theater of the mind. Tonight, transcribed an original story ballad, The Legend of Annie Christmas by Edmund Brophy, with original music composed and conducted by Leith Stevens, and starring William Conrad as the narrator and Amanda Randolph as Annie.
Night wind along the levee crying. Night wind sobbing against the shore. Ghost of Annie Christmas sighing, moaning blue for days no more. Where did Annie come from? Where? From the yonder seas out there? From the mountains of the moon? The far-off land of the Cameroon? Dambala's child, it has been said. Others say a king's instead. Greatest of the Nubian great, with bloodlines back beyond recorded date. Wise ones skilled in magic's way say she first saw light of day cast to earth by the devil's spell for breaking all the rules of hell. Others claim a mortal birth, a god and goddess straight on earth and let their offspring stay behind, a symbol of contempt for mere mankind. Think of other times, forgotten scenes, the year of 1800 in the city of New Orleans. Rovers from all nations, wild men of Kentucky. Lucky if you stayed alive, just lucky. Swamp rats, cutthroats, mountaineers, buccaneers with gold-ringed ears, bloody politics and scheming wardsmen, pistoliers and deadly swordsmen, rivermen of varied shades and races, buckskin hunters wearing leather faces, outlaws from the bloody Natchez Trace, gamblers in broadcloth with cuffs of lace, Bowie, Jackson, Jean Lafitte, weaned on tiger's milk and meat, red-handed pirates from 7 seas of blue, Napoleon's artillery captain, Dominic Hugh. Into the Mississippi's mouth Annie sailed from the ocean south. She came on Christmas, hence her name, but no one knows from whence she came. 12 black giants manned her ship, broad of back and slim of hip, each stood 8 feet tall. 'Twas odd, and alike as 12 peas in a pod. They left her silent on the riverbank, turned roundabout and slowly sank from view into the distant far away, out to the Gulf, past Barataria Bay. And then Annie saw the people gathered round.
Good people, I am the most renowned, prolific mother on the earth. I bore 12 sons in a single birth.
She's bigger yet than a circus giant.
But majestic, no less.
A female Samson. or Hercules. Outwork a plantation mule, I'll bet.
A brawny griff took in her size and claimed her as his slave and prize.
By gar, you'll do in place of a ship. You're mine by the right of my rawhide whip.
You two-footed swine! The sin-blood white men gave you, and your kind would use to enslave.
The free manna color moved slowly in while Annie's eyes grew dark as sin.
By the brawn of my arm and this whip so dread, I'll tame your mouth or flog you dead.
She caught the whip as it cut the air with a movement fast as a hunted hare. And then they charged like wounded buffalo, these human mammoths, head bent low. And the griff cried out in mortal pain as Annie broke his ribs in twain. They rolled in the mud in a lock of death. O'er the river's roll, you could hear the breath of the watching crowd and the awful gasp of the would-be slaver in Annie's clasp. She gouged an eye, chawed his ear. The crowd stood awed and all of fear. She raised him up, a hulk of broken bones, and beat him to the music of his moans. And like a toy, she flung him high. The bully boy swung through the sky out of sight, far into another county, worth no more now than a dead skunk's bounty. And the crowd tracked Annie around the city's streets, proclaiming on her wildcat fighting feats.
This day we found a champion of God's forgotten children. Bless you, Annie Christmas. This day'll be remembered a long time to come. She walks in glory with the saints.
And then she vanished up the Natchez trace, a sudden legend of her ancient race. They honored her name on St. John's Eve, for the voodoo folk were quick to believe in the giant goddess who wore the 7 points of her kerchief turned to heaven. The years brought Annie far-wide fame. Poor folk of all races blessed her name. She mothered the weak and fought the evil strong. But when it came to love, her luck went wrong. Her first great love was Goldmouth Bill, a gambler from Natchez under the hill.
4 aces.
That's the end of me. I'm through.
Here's a chair open. You got my lasso. How about you, Trevor? Where you hail from, gambling man? Natchez, under the hill.
Under the hill and under the deck. It was a smooth deal of cards. From the bottom, I mean.
My boy knife says you're a liar.
I got its mate, gambling man, and I'm a calling it.
Hello.
He lost his head above the neck for 6 aces and a loaded deck. Annie drowned her sorrow and her tears with 1,000 dips of the cup that cheers. Her lamentations rocked each river town. Her wailing blew 100 oak trees down. Her next great love was a wild sea rover, a pirate known the wide world over. Again, fate stepped on the neck of her hope. They were parted by a length of manila rope. They swung him from a yard arm as the first light split the sky. I love you, Annie Christmas, dear. These words he chose to die. Annie drowned her tears and sorrow, cursed past and present and tomorrow, wallowed in a sea of fiery rum.
That's all of love for me till kingdom come. I'll buy a powerful gree-gree, so my heart shall never, never more its love impart. Love's not for me what's 2 is 3. This voodoo charm my heart sets fancy free.
Annie grew a mustache, wore a hat of felt, stuck a brace of pistols down her sailor's belt. Annie cropped her hair, wore a pair of jeans, and took to running flatboats down to New Orleans.
Oh,
Oh, Mississippi Riverman, blue waters light your eye. Oh, Mississippi Riverman, so tall against the sky. Your flatboat skims the water with a cargo riding high. You'll be dancing in the quarter, for another night is nigh. Oh, Mississippi Riverman, your song rings down the shore, for you're floating down to Dixie and New Orleans town once more.
Annie's reputation grew to fable standing. She trounced a local bully at every river landing. She wore a turkey feather rising from her hat, a challenge to all comers or any river rat.
You got a bully on these few blasted acres of mud you call a town? Get him out of his hole if he dare come out. I'll tear the hide off him and hang it up to tan in the morning sun. I'm a cross between a snapping turtle and a swamp gator. I was weaned on panther milk, and I eat grizzly bears raw for breakfast. Claws, burr and all. Send your white-livered champion down the river landing. I'll grind his bones to dust. This is Annie Christmas. You hear me?
Such was the river custom. Such was the river code. A turkey feather was the badge of anyone who rode as champion of a flatboat along the waterways of the mighty Mississippi in Annie Christmas days. Now, Annie wore a necklace made of yellow beads that served to keep a record of all her fighting deeds. She slowly added to it for each eye and ear and nose, till it was long enough to use for hang and wash day clothes. When her boat was lashed to the city dock, she strutted proud as a turkey cock. Unloading was the least of all her troubles. 2 ton was light as water bubbles. She strode the gangway with iron arms, and people came from towns and farms to gaze with much amaze and stare, and then follow her on to Congo Square. Now, whenever she joined the Congo revels, she spit in the eye of invisible devils. For evil spirits of day or night, Annie was gifted with second sight. Annie danced to the sad, mad tunes, scattered 1,000 picayunes to all the poor folk of the land. Her purse had coin for every hand. Hear the old bambula drum beat with a rum-bum-bum-bum-bum as the beef bones thump on the scarred-up skin. 1,000 devils dance within your heart and soul and brain, and a swift, mad ecstasy of pain numbs and maddens and spreads a flame that burns and sears till you call the name and grasp the necklace cross to save your soul's immortal laws.
Damase bambula badum badum. Damase bambula badum badum.
Oh, hear the old bambula drum beat with a rum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Dance calendar in Congo Square. Ankle bells and posied hair bring a magic powder. Beware, beware, get yourself a powerful spell. The devil's there, the devil's there.
Beware, beware, the devil's there in Congo Square. The devil's there in Congo Square.
When the bugles blew and the war drums beat, Annie marched off with Jean Lafitte, her rivermen and his buccaneers, and rugged dead-shot mountaineers. She fought the Battle of New Orleans in pirate boots and sailor's jeans. And when she cut loose with a sneeze, 100 redcoats died in the breeze. She fought by batteries 3 and 4, beside 2 men of fighting lore, the wild Belush and Dominic Hugh, who'd left his blood at Waterloo. She pitched the cannonballs like stones and cracked 1,000 heads and bones. And when all the cannonballs ran out, she threw the cannons and gave a shout. A shout that shivered the enemy ranks and raised the tide on the riverbanks. A shout of mad blood-curdling yell like a demon legion loose from hell.
Charge! You scum of the 7 seas!
The line of redcoats broke and fled. They envied the peace of the quiet dead. And the ones who saved their skins by flight, they slept no more and their hair turned white. Men and cannon and horses flew into the void of heaven's blue, and she smashed the lines to smithereens and won the Battle of New Orleans. And then Annie quit the riverboats, bought herself some cows and shoats, settled down in a quiet place near a bayou off the Natchez Trace. Peace at last and a pleasant home. Her great feet itched no more to roam. She sat in the shade of her small estate, content and pleased with her happy fate. And people traveled from every town to see this goddess of renown, who shared her fire and told strange tales to the choral chant of the wildlife whales.
Yes, that's the way it was. There was only 14 in crew on this little old boat. So I pickled my fist in brine and sailed into 'em. 'Twasn't a fair fight by my way of reckoning.
And sometimes, on a starbright night, her thoughts would soar in fancy's flight. And she wished, as only the lonely can, for a life with the love of a goodly man.
This single bliss is a bitter kiss. I've had too many years of this.
She tossed the gree-gree charm into the air, and it fell on a distant planet there. And then something danced in her light, gay heart. Her blood raced up with a sudden start. She rested well that fateful night, for she saw her love with her second sight. And along the trail in the morning dew, he rode like a knight that Annie knew in the fairy tale of a picture book. His bold blue eye had the eagle's look. She waited on her swamp grass mat, and he tied his mule, removed his hat, advanced, and took her in his arms. Her heart sang true to his gentle charms.
I'm Brimstone Pete, a trapper man. I preach the gospel when I can. You Annie Christmas sure is life. Now, I'm a man of few words. Will you be my wife?
Her tongue was tied, but her ardent look made Brimstone reach for his holy book.
Heavenly Father, in the dawn of thy newborn day, I stand reverently before thee. My name is Peter Peppercorn, better known throughout the bayous of Louisiana as Brimstone Pete. My chosen bride is Annie Christmas. Bless this union, good Lord. My witness is my mule, a humble, faithful beast, akin to the one who carried thy beloved son into the holy city. I pledge thee, Annie, in the presence of God's early light, my name, my love, my honor, my heart, and my life. Whom God hath joined together, let no man set asunder. Just say I do, Annie.
I do.
So be it. Thank thee, our Father in heaven. Bend down and kiss me, love.
He married himself to Annie then, and a bird choir sang when he said, Amen. Now, Brimstone Pete was a sight to see. He was 6 feet wide, stood 5'3". He feared the Lord and prayed his prayers and exercised with mountain bears. Now, Annie's favorite Bible tale was Jonah swallowed by the whale. Brimstone read it until she knew word for word of it all the way through.
That Jonah was a wise old bird. You know what I think?
Now, what do you think, Peter?
I think he tickled the inside of the fool whale's belly with his whiskers, and the whale just had to chuck him up.
Is that the truth?
No, it ain't gospel, but I'm assuming.
Her love and kisses, beans and rice, transported Pete to paradise.
Hot red beans and Creole rice, cooked with love and lots of spice. Dixie chicken, fresh corn pone, start your licking fingers to the bone. Way down there in Congo Square, besting fair in New Orleans. Hush, puppy, hushes, all the barking dogs. Folks need their mushes just like starving hogs. Smell of heaven floating down along the street, and he's cooking gumbo for Louisiana treats. Sugar sack around your neck, wreck yourself a tasty peck. You ain't gonna leave the speck when Annie cooks with special love and means. Way down there in Congo Square, besting fair in New Orleans.
But, sad to say, it had to end. Pete had the Lord and his traps to tend. He kissed his Annie's tears away, rode down the trail at break of day. As she waited, alone the long month through, but poor Pete was lost, long overdue. 6 weeks went by, and Annie's eyes clouded with a grim surmise. That alligator called Old Nick haunted and lived in the very thick of the dreadful swamp where Sweet Pete crossed on his trip to redeem and baptize the lost. Old Nick had teeth like cross-cut saws and was 40 feet from tail to jaws. In the smoke of the fire that very night, she summoned the powers of her second sight. Then into the swamp's dark, dismal deep, she went alone with a vow to keep. 3 hunting weeks, and then the very sky shook like a hurricane on high. Out of the swamp in a race cross bayou water, Annie chased Nick 1.25 miles. Nick smashed his head against the stony shore. Annie swung him high and aft and forth, snapped his jaws with strong bare hands. His dying tremble shook the bayou lands. Annie gutted him open wide, but Brimstone Pete was not inside. She looked and searched from throat to tail, but Old Nick was a devil, not Jonah's whale. His hunting boots and his watch and chain were all of brimstone to remain. Yet a miracle greeted a further look. There, fully intact, was his holy book. The great oaks mourned for Annie's loss. There were tears on the beards of Spanish moss, and the silence was such you could have heard the fall of a leaf or the wing of a bird. The good folks said when Old Nick died that Satan left the earth to hide, for no one ever sinned no more, and crops grew bigger than before. Now Annie's grief grew multiform. The great heart chilled which once was warm.
The Lord is my shepherd.
And the 23rd of the holy Psalms gave peace to her widowhood. Her qualms were quieted. She shut her cypress door upon the world, and all forevermore.
I'll be this day with thee in paradise, sweet Pete. I'm bringing beans and rice.
And then her great heart broke, and a clap of thunder. She died a-smilin', this woman wonder, and woods and water and earth and sky lent music to a last goodbye. The night was dark as the earth's inside. That night, when Annie Christmas died, the stars, the moon, the high blue sky turned darker than an evil eye. Her 12 black sons in coal black boots appeared in frock-tail coal black suits with a coffin black as the river Styx. Black hearse, black horses, 26. Black hearse, black horses, 12 black sons raced along the road where the bayou runs. In town, by the dark of the waterside, they took to sea on the morning tide. She went as she came, in mystery, deep and dark as the deepest sea. Her sins were washed, her soul set free, to join sweet Pete in eternity. Wise and small folk never grieve for Annie. Look high on Christmas Eve. Twin stars shine far out there, quite close to God, adorning heaven's air. Night wind along the levee crying. Night wind sobbing against the shore. Ghost of Annie Christmas sighing. Moaning blue for days no more. Moaning blue for days no more. Moaning blue for days.
Tonight, transcribed from Hollywood, the CBS Radio Workshop has presented The Legend of Annie Christmas, starring William Conrad, with Amanda Randolph as Annie. The Legend of Annie Christmas is an original story ballad by Edmund Brophy, with original music composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Directed by Sam Pierce, The Legend of Annie Christmas was adapted for radio by Mr. Pierce and Mr. Brophy. The CBS Radio Workshop is produced in Hollywood by William N. Robeson. Featured in tonight's cast were Roy Glenn, Tony Barrett, Lou Merrill, Jack Moyles, and Ken Christie. Songs by Bill Lee. Next week from New York, the CBS Radio Workshop will present When the Mountain Fell, adapted by Draper Lewis from the book by Charles Fernand Ramuz. Under the brilliant direction of Dmitri Mitropoulos, the New York Philharmonic Symphony returns to the air this Sunday on most of these same stations. The Handel Concerto for Orchestra No. 2 in B-flat, Beethoven's Symphony No. 5 in C minor, and Samuel Barber's Capricorn Concerto begin the new broadcast season of the New York Philharmonic Symphony on a note of excitement.
And that, my friends, is why AI, CGI, all the technical innovations will never put something more important on your screen than the screen between your two ears. William Conrad, Amanda Randolph, and the wonderful Roy Glenn. Oh, what a wonderfully underrated talent he is. The Legend of Annie Christmas from the CBS Radio Workshop. 69 years ago, October 19th, 1956, here on Classic Radio Theater. How do you follow that? Except to tell you that The Shadow is next.
Do you know how old the school building in your community is? If it's over 25 years old, the chances are that it's woefully inadequate. Join with the groups in your community working for better school conditions. Remember, better schools build a stronger America.
I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm still raving about that production. When you have wonderful music like that, when you have 2 people, 3 people that wield their voices like weapons and the most beautiful instruments in the world. Move on, Wyatt. Move on. Bill Johnstone as the Shadow. 84 years ago, October 19th, 1941, the tale of the Hoodoo Ship.
Be sure to hear our special guest at the end of today's program. And now, the thrilling adventures of the Shadow are on the air, brought to you each week at this time by your neighborhood blue coal dealer. These dramatizations are designed to demonstrate forcibly to old and young alike that crime does not pay. Get the jump on winter. Put in a supply of blue coal now, and you'll have a head start on cold weather. Don't wait until some of your family start catching cold before you tackle your heating problem. It's so easy to start the season off right with comfortable, economical blue coal. So place your order now. And remember, this year it's well to start the season with a big supply. The producers of blue coal expect no shortage of this finest of all hard coal, but present unsettled conditions make it wise to be prepared. Call your neighborhood blue coal dealer tomorrow and order your winter supply of blue coal. The Shadow, mysterious character who aids the forces of law and order, is in reality Lamont Cranston, wealthy young man about town. Several years ago in the Orient, Cranston learned a strange and powerful secret. The secret of hypnotic power to cloud men's minds so that they cannot see him. Cranston's friend and companion, the lovely Margot Lane, is the only person who knows to whom the voice of the invisible Shadow belongs. Today's drama, The Hoodoo Ship. The date, 1850. The place, aboard the slave ship Raven, flying between Africa and America.
Mr. Corway, sir. What is it now, Peters? What thunderation do you want?
That ship, sir.
What ship?
The ship, sir, that has been following us since yesterday noon.
Tell the first mate to pile on more canvas. We'll outrun her.
Every piece of canvas we have is in use, sir.
If we're caught with our cargo...
We'll not be caught with our cargo.
But the ship's a man of war and she's faster taking us.
We'll not be caught with our cargo, mister.
What do you mean?
I mean we're dumping those slaves overboard.
But they'll drown.
Without a trace. Ha. The man of war may catch us, mister, but she'll never be able to prove we carried slaves. Well, why are you standing there, gape-jawed? You heard my orders. Over the side with a lot of them. And when the man of war comes athwart us and asks our cargo, tell them we don't carry one. That we're just traveling for our health.
And that, Lamont and Miss Lane, is the history of this old ship, the Raven.
A pretty gruesome history, Mr. Crew.
But how does the haunted story originate?
On almost every voyage this old ship made after that, someone died. Finally, men refused to sail her. She's been harbored for the last 20 years.
How long have you had this ship?
Only a short while. You see, I was in something of a spot with the government taking over most of the merchant marine, and when I found the Raven for sale, it was a godsend.
Well, were you told about this legend of death concerning the ship when you bought it?
Yes, but I thought it was just a story. A story such as any old sailing ship might have acquired in its long life.
Something has happened to make you think otherwise?
On its first trip from my plantations, the captain was murdered in his cabin.
Oh, but that doesn't necessarily
The door
mean
was locked from the inside, and there wasn't a mark on his body. Frankly, Cranston, I, too, am beginning to believe this ship is accursed.
I was watching the men taking the stuff off in that boat while I was waiting for you and Miss Lane, Mr. Cranston.
Oh, were you, Shrevey?
Yes, sir. Ain't it too bad that the days of sailing boats is over, that they're over?
Why do you say that, Shrevey?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I read it somewheres. I was just making with the conversation, like they say. You two have been so quiet, I was just making with the conversation.
Like they say.
Yeah. Gee, I would like very much to be a sailor. Sailing on the briny deep and batten down the hatches and stuff.
Well, Shrevey, I don't think you'd like that ship.
Why not? I am thinking to myself, that ship is beautiful.
In a repulsive sort of way.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Shrevey, that ship once carried slaves from Africa to America.
Is that so? Well, you can't blame the ship, you can't blame.
No, but the taint of the men who indulged in that business still seems to stick to her.
Well, that's quite understandable. What do you mean, Mr. Cranston?
That ship is haunted.
Oh, well, you mean it's got ghosts, it's got?
Shrevey, watch where you're driving.
Yes, ma'am. I thought for a minute you said the ship was haunted.
She did.
Oh, Shrevey, you're too excitable.
Yes, ma'am. I'll keep reminding myself of that. I'll keep.
Well, after all, it may be only a peculiar combination of circumstances.
Lamont, don't you believe what Mr. Carew told us?
That the captain was found dead in his cabin?
With the door locked on the inside?
Margot, the captain may have died from natural causes. There were no marks of violence on his body, and as he was buried at sea...
What about the wailing noises that were heard the night he died? What about that awful smell aboard ship? An odor of death? Was all that just coincidence?
Yeah, how about that, Mr. Cranston? Coincidence?
Well, it hardly seems likely, but...
What about all the trouble Mr. Carew had with the men being afraid to sail the ship again? Do you think you could scare all those men with a peculiar combination of circumstances?
No, that's very true. Well, you've convinced me, Margot.
Well...
Convinced me that I ought to accept Mr. Carew's offer to sail with him aboard the Raven.
Sail? But Lamont, I'll have to start shopping like mad for cruise clothes.
Margot...
Let me see.
Margot... You didn't hear me correctly. Mr. Carew asked me to sail with him. Just me.
Oh, Lamont, you would...
Margot, that's final. This is one time you're not going along.
Well, Lamont, needless to say, I'm glad that you've decided to come along this trip.
All right, there, man.
Funny, but I've got a strange feeling about this particular voyage. A feeling that I may not come back alive.
Oh, now, Carew.
Well, Mr. Carew, we'll be sailing with the tide in about 20 minutes.
Good. Captain Flanagan, this is our one and only passenger, Lamont Cranston.
How do you do?
Well, how do you do, sir? So you're the gentleman who's going to ferret out our spook, eh?
Oh. You know the ghost legend?
Captain Flanagan knows all about it.
Mr. Cranston, I am not a superstitious man. I've examined my cabin where this so-called murder took place from stem to stern and can't find a hiding place big enough even for a ghost. If a spook is going to clamber down that porthole tonight, I'll welcome him with open arms and buy him a spot of rum. He'll deserve it. Now, gentlemen, I'm more worried about my crew than I am of any ghost. Never in all my years at sea have I seen a meaner or uglier bunch of men.
Well, they were the only men we could get, Captain. Sailors are superstitious about a hoodoo ship.
Hey, Captain, look aloft. That man's going to fall off the rigging.
Oh, don't worry about him. Even with one leg, he's more agile than the rest.
Yes. That wooden leg of his doesn't seem to hinder him at all.
That's Rock, the bosun, Captain.
And he's the ugliest of an ugly lot.
Well, he's a good man. I don't know how I'd ever have a crew for you if he hadn't persuaded the men to sign on for another voyage.
I hear you. Bosun, come here.
Aye, sir.
Rock, this is our new skipper, Captain Flanagan.
Welcome, sir. Welcome to the good ship Raven.
Haven't I met you someplace before, Mr. Rock?
Not that I recall, sir.
You look familiar to me. But perhaps I'm mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Is that tobacco you're chewing, Mr. Rock?
That it is, sir.
I won't have any chewing or smoking while you're on duty.
Yes, sir. Over the side it goes, sir.
Good. Mr. Rock, I've been informed the discipline aboard the ship has been very lax.
Oh?
I'll not tolerate that. As soon as we're out to sea, I want to talk to the entire crew.
I'll see that they're assembled on deck, sir.
Good. Now, back to your work, Mr. Rock.
Aye, aye, sir.
Don't you think you're being a little hard on him, Captain?
Mr. Carew, I hope you won't mind my telling you this, but I'm the captain of this ship. You're the owner. But once we're out to sea, this ship is my responsibility.
No offense, Captain. I quite understand.
Captain Flanagan, for a moment you thought you recognized Rock.
Yes.
Who did you think he was?
A man who used to work for me some years back. And I must have been mistaken. And now, gentlemen, will you do me the honor of dining in my cabin tonight? Perhaps the presence of three men who don't believe he exists will discourage our ghost. Well, Mr. Cranston, Mr. Carew, when we hit that typhoon, there weren't enough able-bodied men aboard her to bury the dead. Oh, yes, yes.
Captain, is it all right if I clean the dishes away, sir?
Yeah, clear away, Jess.
Yes, sir.
Well, you were saying, Captain, about the typhoon.
Yes, that's a very interesting yarn, Captain.
Well, for 3 days and 3 nights it blew. I lashed myself to the wheel with the waves breaking across the deck. Finally, the first mate relieved me, and I crawled into my cabin more dead than alive. I didn't care whether the ship sank or not.
I've gone through that same thing, Captain.
You mean lashed to the wheel?
Oh, no, seasickness.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, Lamont, I'm afraid I have a touch of it myself right now.
Oh, no, Carew.
Yes, Cranston. So if you'll both excuse me, I think I'll go out on deck for a little fresh air.
Yes, what's the matter with you? You've broken all the dishes.
What are you staring at?
Yeah, the horns. They've come. I know that.
He's looking at that locker over there in the corner.
Yeah. I seen the door move. Hear that? There's something in there.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Come out.
Yes, Lamont.
Margot.
Miss Lane.
Who is this woman?
I'll explain, Captain. Margot, what do you think you're doing?
A very bad job of stowing away, Lamont. But a very good job of being seasick. Oh!
Margot.
Here I am, Lamont.
Oh. Feeling any better, Margot?
Yes, a little, thanks.
Well, you can go below now if you want to. Go to have my cabin. Carew and I are going to bunk together.
Oh, thanks, Lamont. You're a dear.
Wait till this voyage is over before you thank me, Margot. Things are brewing aboard this old ship. Things that may result in the death of any of us.
Have you learned anything yet, Lamont?
Not yet, Margot. But the shadow is going to Captain Flanagan's cabin tonight.
Well, what can you gain by questioning Captain Flanagan?
I'm not going to question him, Margot. Tonight, the shadow is going to be merely an observer. Because I think that an attempt will be made on the captain's life. And I'm going to prevent it, if I can.
Who's there? Who's there?
It's only me, miss. Just the steward.
Oh, you frightened me for a minute.
You pardon my saying so, miss. The deck of this ship ain't no place for a young lady to be alone this time of night.
I'm beginning to think you're right, Jess.
This ship is haunted.
What?
I got a feeling that something's gonna happen tonight.
Jess, you don't believe in ghosts, do you?
Maybe yes. Maybe no. But I don't like the feel of death in the air tonight.
Cranston, is that you over there?
No, it's I, Margot.
Where's Lamont? He didn't come back to the cabin.
What? I don't know. What's the matter?
There's something unearthly about. Miss Lane, do you notice that odor?
What? Yes. Oh.
The odor of death. The same odor that permeated the ship when Captain Rutherford was killed on the last voyage.
Quick, we've got to find Lamont. Jess, you go around to the... Well, where is he?
Who?
Jess. I was just talking to him.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. He was right here a minute ago.
I didn't see anyone talking to you when I came up.
But he was here, I know it. What's that?
That wailing I heard, too, when Captain Rutherford was killed. That scream came from Captain Flanagan's cabin. Come on, hurry!
In a moment, our curtain will rise on Act 2. Meantime, let's talk about how you and your family can keep warm from now until next May. Heat your home with blue coal. You know, it's a fact that with blue coal, which is the finest of Pennsylvania hard coal, you can enjoy comfortable, even warmth throughout your house. Let the cold winter winds blow. You'll be snug and completely free of heating cares. One reason it's so easy to heat with blue coal is that it's delivered to your home in exactly the right size for your heating plant. Another reason, and one you want to be sure to remember, is the new Deluxe Blue Coal Heat Regulator. Every home should have one. It's as easy to operate as an electric light switch. It automatically opens and closes the dampers on your furnace and keeps every room at an even temperature. You can let the weatherman do his worst. You're always comfortable. Ask for a free demonstration of the Blue Coal Heat Regulator in your own home. No obligation whatever. Get in touch with your reliable neighborhood Blue Coal dealer tomorrow. He's listed under the words Blue Coal in your classified phone directory. Remember the name, Blue Coal. Blue Coal is color marked for your protection with a harmless blue tint. And now, back to the shadow.
He's dead. Captain Flanagan is dead.
Oh, Mr. Carew. His face is so contorted. He must have suffered horribly. Oh, Lamont.
I heard the scream and came running. What is it?
Look for yourself, Cranston. Captain Flanagan is dead. The same way that Rutherford got it. And not a mark on him.
I think you're wrong, Carew. There's a slight scratch on his forehead.
Let me see. So there is. How could a little scratch like that have caused his death? And where is the murder weapon?
Mr. Carew, you've had plantations in the West Indies for many years. Haven't you ever heard of a native poison brewed from the roots of strange herbs called maunagua? It's known to cause instant death.
Why, no. No, I don't know the poison. Why do you ask?
Why? Because in some mysterious way, Captain Flanagan was murdered with that drug.
By the way you talk, Lamont, it seemed that you believed Mr. Carew had committed the murder.
Perhaps he has, Margot.
But you were there when it happened. You must have seen how it was done.
Margot, I was right in the cabin when it happened, but I might have been in New York for all the good it did me. The Shadow went to Captain Flanagan's cabin last night. The door was locked and bolted, so I knocked. When he opened the door to see who it was, the Shadow slipped into the cabin. Then he locked and bolted the door again, but before I could...
I could have sworn I heard someone knock at the door. Must be my imagination. Well, to bed. Strange. strange. What's that odor? Smells like it's coming from that ventilator. And the wailing. Just as Carew said he...
Then he screamed and fell to the floor of the cabin. I heard you and Carew coming toward the cabin, and when Carew forced the door, the shadow slipped out.
And you didn't see how it happened?
No, Margot. I saw it happen, but the whole thing had me completely baffled.
Come in.
Begging your pardon, miss, but Mr. Carew wants both you and Mr. Cranston, sir, to come up on the bridge.
Did he say what for, Rock?
There seems to be some trouble, sir. The men refuse to go on. It looks pretty serious. I think you'd better talk to them, Mr. Carew. They look like they're in a pretty dangerous mood. Yes, they know how Flanagan died, and they want to turn back.
Well, we can't sail the ship without them. I guess you'd better union them.
But this is mutiny. It's unheard of in this day and age.
Oh, please do something, Mr. Carew.
All right, I'll do something. Something that may convince them.
Let's have some action around here!
Men, listen to me! We're going to continue our course to the West Indies.
Not in this present ship, we're not.
We want to turn back.
What happened to Captain Flanagan happened to...
Let me speak! What happened to Captain Flanagan?
And Captain Rutherford, don't forget. The ship is hot.
It was all an accident. There was nothing supernatural about it.
His ship is cursed and we're not sailing. We want to turn back.
And we're going to turn back. Men, please. Suppose I prove to you that there is nothing to fear on this ship.
How are you going to do it?
Then,
we want to know.
If I sleep in the captain's cabin and nothing happens to me, will you continue the voyage?
That's fair enough.
Fair enough it is.
You do it, and if nothing happens to you, we'll go on. Aye, you'll prove it to us.
I've never asked a man working for me to do anything that I wouldn't do. I'm sleeping in the captain's cabin tonight.
Now, have you got all that, Margot?
Let's see if I've remembered everything. I'm to watch the porthole in the captain's cabin.
And don't forget to stay out of sight.
Right. When I get your signal.
Not my direct signal. The porthole slamming shut will be the signal.
That's right. Then I'm to shoot the gun.
And remember, just into the air to arouse the men of the crew. You're not to take a shot at the murderer. I'd like to take him alive.
Who is he, Lamont?
Well, I'm still not sure, Margot. But I do know how the murders were committed. I spent the whole afternoon inspecting the captain's cabin again, and at last it came to me. You see, the victims were awakened by...
Oh. Come in.
Carew.
I was looking for you, Lamont. I wonder if you'd do me a favor.
Well, I can.
Do you want to speak with Lamont alone, Mr. Carew?
No, thank you. It may sound silly to you, Lamont, but would you take care of this letter for me?
A letter? Well, what do you mean?
It's to my wife. Just in case, you know.
Oh, nothing's going to happen, Mr. Carew.
Why, of course not.
Of course not. I feel as though I'm taking that last long walk tonight. But it's something I've got to do. Nice evening, isn't it? Seems pretty fine to be alive. Well, I won't bore you with my emotions. Better have a go at that cabin. You will take care of that letter for me, won't you, Lamont?
Certainly.
So long.
He spoke as if he were going to die tonight.
And well he may, Margot. If anything goes wrong with the trap I've set for the killer. Well, let's get along. The shadow has work to do.
Now to lock and bolt the door. There. Now there's nothing to do but wait. I could go to bed and wait. Huh? What's that? Who's there? Strange. I thought I heard someone knocking. Huh. Must be my nerves.
Mr. Carew.
Voice. Maybe they're right. Maybe the ship is haunted.
No, Mr. Carew. It is the shadow's voice you heard.
But I can't see you.
The shadow is invisible to your eyes. But let me reassure you, I am a man of flesh and blood, and I am your friend. I've cast a hypnotic mist over your mind, which makes me invisible.
I don't understand. What do you want of me?
I've come to help you, to save you from almost certain death.
How can you save me?
Be patient, Mr. Carew, and obey my orders, and we will outwit the killer.
But that odor. The odor of death.
The killer has come earlier than I expected.
And now the moaning. Shadow, that awful smell. It seems to be coming from the ventilator.
Mr. Carew.
What is it?
Don't move another step. You see the ventilator in front of the porthole?
Yes?
The murderer is just outside waiting for you to go to that ventilator. As you pass the open porthole, he will strike.
Then I won't pass it. I'll be safe if I don't.
You must pass it.
What?
If we are to catch our killer red-handed, please follow my instructions. Now, count 3 to yourself and walk toward the ventilator. When I shout now, drop to the floor instantly. Ready?
Ready. 1, 2, 3.
Now. Are you all right, Mr. Carew?
Yes, I'm all right. What's all that shouting about?
Unless I'm mistaken, that means our killer's criminal days are over. If you'll examine the porthole, you'll find a sharp steel needle dangling from a silk thread. But be extremely careful of the way you handle it, as it's coated with a very deadly poison. That, Mr. Carew, is the murder weapon.
Oh, Lamont, Mr. Carew is about the happiest man in the world this morning.
Well, he should be. He came very close to following Captain Rutherford and Captain Flanagan as the killer's third victim.
And Rock is in chains in the hole, Lamont?
Yes. Carew's turning him over to the authorities as soon as we dock at Tacito.
Well, did Rock finally admit why he had committed these murders?
Well, Margot, it seems Rock had been hired by another concern to ruin Carew. Not only on this ship, but on any other ship that Carew might try to hire.
You know, Lamont, I still don't know how Rock could do all those things.
What things, Margot?
Well, for instance, the wailing sound that we heard.
Well, that's simple enough. He rigged up some large tin drums on a rosin cord hung onto the yardarm. When the wind whirled them about, it produced our moaning sound.
But what about the odor? That terrible odor of death.
That was nothing more than a few basic chemicals placed in the ventilators. Our imagination supplied the so-called odor of death.
Oh, that's simple enough. But how did Rock actually commit the murders?
I knew, Margot, that the killer had used a blowgun and a poisoned dart. But what puzzled me was, what became of the dart? You remember we couldn't find it.
Oh, now, Lamont, that's not so simple.
On the contrary, Margot, Rock merely slid down a rope to the porthole, shot his poisoned dart, and retrieved it by pulling it back on a silk thread.
Huh, as simple as all that? Why, I could have figured that out if I'd had time enough.
Well, of course you could, dear. Give you time enough and you could have figured it out, certainly. There's only one thing you overlooked, Margot.
What's that, Lamont?
A peculiar characteristic of our friend Carew.
Really? What characteristic?
He just doesn't like being buried at sea.
Well, you can understand. Oh, Lamont.
We have a special announcement to make in just a few moments, but now we'd like to present to you Blue Coal's distinguished home heating expert, John Barclay. Mr. Barclay.
Thank you. Friends, they say that well begun is half done. And I want to point out to you today the truth of that old saying as it applies to modern home heating. You know, there's really nothing complicated about the operation of a furnace, although, as experience perhaps has shown you, there are seemingly simple things that can cause you trouble. Now, why do these troubles arise? Believe me when I tell you that most of them are caused by not starting out right. Well begun is half done. You'll find it pays you over and over again to take pains at the beginning of the season to start your heating plant off right. Now, here's my suggestion. Call your reliable blue coal dealer, and he'll send an expert, John Barclay-trained serviceman to your home. There's no charge whatever for this. He'll check your heating plant thoroughly and start you on a comfortable and economical fall and winter season. Call him tomorrow, before cold weather settles in for good. You'll be surprised and delighted to find how much easier and how much more efficient it is to heat your home the blue coal way. Phone your friendly blue coal dealer tomorrow. Thank you.
It's our great privilege to present to you at this time Mr. Norman Weiser of Radio Daily. Mr. Weiser, as editor and critic, has long been regarded as a leading authority in the world of radio drama. Mr. Weiser.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, radio today is certainly a major influence in the field of drama. Radio dramatizations such as The Shadow are very carefully selected and are designed particularly to suit the listening tastes of an exceptionally discriminating audience. Today, I am representing Harper & Brothers in commemoration of their new book, Writers' Radio Theater of 1940-1941, which contains the 10 outstanding radio dramas of that period. It is my honor to present one of the 10 Merit Awards to The Shadow, as having contributed one of the best radio dramas of the year. It was called The Ghost Walks Again, written by Jerry Devine, produced by Wilson Tuttle, and presented over this network March 16, 1941.
Thank you, Mr. Norman Weiser, and thank you, Radio Daily. Today's program was based on a copyrighted story. The characters, names, places, and plot are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The Shadow knows.
Next week, same time, same station, your neighborhood blue coal dealer brings you another thrilling adventure of The Shadow. Be sure to listen, and be sure to phone your friendly blue coal dealer for greater heating comfort at less cost. So don't forget, keep the home fires burning with blue coal.
A much different drama from 84 years ago, October 19, 1941, The Shadow on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We will have coming up tomorrow the shows of Sunday, the 20th day of October 1957 with the final Stan Freberg show, the final suspense production of Sorry Wrong Number with Agnes Moorehead, yours truly Johnny Dollar and the Mary Grace Matter, and an episode of Gunsmoke, all from Sunday, the 20th day of October 1957. We'll also have on Tuesday comedy with My Favorite Husband, Milton Berle, The Aldrich Family, and Charlie McCarthy. On Wednesday, The Weird Circle, Boston Blackie, The Time Machine, the H.G. Wells story done by John Daner, an episode of Escape, and The Challenge of the Yukon. Comedy on Thursday as Fibber's Cousin Ernie comes for a visit from 1945. Gildersleeve asks for a raise. Kingfish's car is stolen on Amos and Andy. And Henry Aldrich forgets to mail a letter. On Friday, we'll have Westerns, Jimmy Stewart, The Six-Shooter, Gunsmoke, Have Gun Will Travel. And then we'll top it off with a 1959 episode of Suspense. On Saturday, Robert Young in Father Knows Best from 1950. Bobby Ellis as Henry Aldrich from 1952, the final season of the show. Also Jack Benny from 1952, a gossip article about Jack. And Ozzie and Harriet. And next Sunday, Mr. Keen, Tracer of Lost Persons. The case of the insidious impersonator on Counter Spy. Frank Sinatra as Rocky Fortune. And an episode of Lights Out. Mungara. That's all coming up for the next 7 days here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Coming up next, though, Nick Carter, Master Detective.
Alert Americans will heed history's lessons. Throughout history, surprise has had a leading role in military disasters. Today, an enemy capable of surprise air attack could leave chaos in his wake. That's why you should be in the Civilian Ground Observer Corps, volunteering a few hours a week to guard our skies. Be a ground observer. Contact your local civilian defense office.
Now we head over to Mutual from 78 years ago, October 19th, 1947. Lon Clark as Nick Carter, Master Detective, in the case of the Perfect Alibi.
New post-war Old Dutch cleanser, famous for chasing dirt, presents Nick Carter, famous for chasing crime. Every week at this time, two great names are joined as new post-war Old Dutch Glinter brings you one of the most resourceful and daring characters in all detective fiction, Nick Carter, Master Detective.
Nick, you just took a $10,000 fee from a client and then accused him of murder.
That's right, Patsy.
But I don't understand. How could he have committed the murder?
I don't know, but I'm going to find out.
But he was with us when it happened.
Yes, I know. You and I, Patsy, are his alibi. And yet I'm positive he killed William Lasher.
And now, the case of the Perfect Alibi. Today's adventure starring Lon Clark as Nick Carter, brought to you by new post-war Old Dutch Glinter. It is almost 8 o'clock in the evening, and Nick Carter and his assistant Patsy Bowen are bound for the theater. It's one of those rare evenings when Nick is not working and Patsy is happy enough to sing.
Oh, Nick. First the theater, then supper and dancing. Oh, we won't get home until morning.
Well,
get home
Patsy,
until
it's
morning.
worth taking an evening off to see you so happy.
Oh, I am happy, Nick. There'll just be us tonight. No policemen, no crooks, no anybody.
Hey, look at that fool.
Dicky's driving right at us.
Hey, Patsy, brace yourself. Why,
Oh, that driver must be drunk.
crazy fool. If he's not injured, I'll tell him a thing or two. Are you in there? You hurt?
No, I'm okay.
Well, get out. Let's have a look at you.
It was my fault entirely. I'll be glad to pay all the damages.
What's wrong with you? Plenty of light on this street.
You must have seen us coming.
I know. I said it was my fault. Here's my license and my registration. I'll call my attorney in the morning, and he'll get in touch with you.
You're Paul Sanders.
Yes.
Now, you must have just started out. The radiator of your car isn't even warm.
Well, I was traveling slowly. I was just driving.
With your eyes shut. Well, my name is Nick Carter. You'll need that in your accident report.
You're Nick Carter? Really?
He certainly is, really.
Mr. Carter, I need your help desperately.
For what?
Mr. Carter, a man is going to be murdered tonight, and I'm the man with the strongest motive in the world for killing him.
You have the strongest motive?
Yes, I have. Mr. Carter, you may be the means of saving my life and the life of William Lasher as well.
William Lasher?
Yes.
Not the man who used to be district attorney.
That's right. He represents certain clients who are after my scalp. Naturally, that makes him my enemy, too.
So what?
I phoned him just a little while ago. I argued and pleaded with him, but it was no use. He can ruin me, and he's going to do it, if he lives.
You don't make sense yet. Go on.
While I was talking to him on the phone, he received a letter by messenger. He read it to me and accused me of sending it. It said that Lasher was going to be killed tonight.
Nick, isn't Lasher that DA who was so tough they refused to let his name go up for re-election?
Yes, Patsy. Stepped on too many toes.
I must have a reliable person who will swear that I couldn't have killed Lasher. Will you take the job, Mr. Carter?
You know, Mr. Sanders, I think maybe I will.
I'll pay you any fee you ask, anything.
The fee will be $10,000, Mr. Sanders.
$10,000?
Well, that's pretty steep, but okay, I'll pay it.
All right. First thing to do is to establish the fact that Lasher's alive right this minute. Suppose we use my car, Mr. Sanders. Mine will run. Yours doesn't look as if it would.
Very well.
I don't like this, Nick.
Neither do I. Why do you think I accepted this case? Well, come on, Mr. Sanders. Let's look into this murder you say is going to happen. For your sake, Mr. Sanders, I hope Mr. Lasher is alive.
I hope so, too, even though I detest the man.
I think someone's coming, Nick.
Yes?
I'd like to see Mr. Lasher. I'm Nick Carter.
You're Nick Carter, the detective?
Yes, may I see him, please?
Well, gee, I'm sorry, but he left strict orders that he wasn't to be disturbed under any circumstances.
In spite of his orders, I want to see him whether he's all right. We have reason to believe he might be murdered tonight.
Murdered? Why, well, all right, I'll knock on the study door. He gets awful sore when I disobey him, but, well, I'll try it.
Who's he, Mr. Sanders?
Name's Joey Wilson. Nice boy. Lasher's his guardian.
Oh.
Mr. Lasher? Mr. Lasher?
Go away. I told you I don't want to be disturbed.
You see?
Here, let me try. Mr. Lasher, this is Nick Carter. I want to talk to you.
I said go away. I'll see no one tonight.
Well, I'm afraid you're going to see me because I want to see you.
Confound you! Get out of here!
Oh, what happened, Nick?
Oh, he threw a book at me. Fortunately, his aim was bad.
Then he's still alive.
Yes, Sanders. Luckily for you, he's very much alive. Oh, Joey, do you know Mr. Sanders here?
Why, yes, sir. He comes to see Mr. Lasher sometimes.
When was the last time he came to this house?
Let me see. He hasn't been here in a long time. At least for 2 months.
Yes, at least that.
I see. Well, it's now 8:32. Remember that, all of you. Lasher is alive now. What's more, Sanders?
Yes, Mr. Carter?
We're going to take further precautions to see that he stays alive, at least as far as you're concerned. Come on.
But, Carter, what's the idea of bringing me here to police headquarters?
Because I want to look in on my friend, Sergeant Matheson, before we go back to Lasher's place.
Well, at least the last 2 hours have passed quickly. Seeing your offices and laboratory was quite an experience, Carter.
Well, at least it was one way of killing time while we were establishing your alibi.
Here's the sergeant's office, Nick.
Hi, Matty.
Oh, hiya, Nick. Patsy.
Hello.
This is Mr. Sanders, Sergeant Matheson.
Hiya, Sanders. Any further word from Lasher, Nick?
No, Matty. I called Joey half hour ago. He reported Lasher was still very much alive.
Good. I sent 4 men up there, as you suggested, just to cover the house and sort of keep a watch over Lasher.
Thanks, Matty.
I also did some checking down here. You know, Nick, Lasher was about the toughest DA we've ever had.
Yeah, so I recall.
One of the boys he put away, and one who hated Lasher like poison, got out of prison yesterday.
Well, that's interesting. Who is he?
Pete Arnold. Lasher got him sent up for 15 years for armed robbery. And the day he was sentenced, Arnold swore he'd get Lasher for sending him up.
I think I remember him. Wasn't he a big, powerful fellow?
Yeah, mean and dangerous, too. You know, Nick, I think we ought to go see Lasher again, whether he likes it or not.
I think you got something there, Matty. Let's go. Come on, Sanders.
All right. Where you go, I go. For tonight, at least.
You've got your men well hidden, Matty. Didn't see one anywhere.
They're here all right, Nick. Don't worry about that.
Hello. Oh, it's you again, Mr. Carter.
Yes, Joey, and this time we're going to talk to Mr. Lasher, orders or no orders.
Well, it's at your own risk, Mr. Carter.
I know, Joey. Mr. Lasher, I'm coming in. I want to talk...
Hey.
Nick, he's dead.
Oh, no, he can't be.
He's dead, all right.
Dead, is he? Well, everyone stay right where you are. Don't touch a thing.
Hey, let me see.
There's no blood, Nick.
No. No sign of a struggle either.
Just that terrible expression on his face.
To me, that means just one thing, Patsy. Lasher was poisoned.
Nick, someone was here with him. Look at that bottle of liquor, and there's 2 glasses here on the desk.
And the glass beside Lasher's hand is empty.
But the other one's full.
I'll call the medical examiner and the homicide boys. Now, you 4 go back in the living room. I don't want anything disturbed in here, intentionally or otherwise. Hey, Nick. A little while ago, 2 of the men I got outside saw someone peering through the window of the study where we found Lasher's body.
Did they catch him?
No, they lost him in the darkness.
Huh.
They said he resembled Pete Arnold in size. So the window's being dusted for prints, and so are the bottle and glasses.
Oh, those glasses are hobnailed, Matty. They're too rough to take an impression.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're right. Well, I'm going back in the study, Nick. You carry on, huh?
Okay, Matty. Joey, why did Mr. Lasher insist upon being alone tonight?
I don't know. All I know is that every once in a while he'd clear everybody out of the house except me, and my job was to see that nobody disturbed him.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time that happened?
Well, I'm not sure. About a year ago, I guess.
Hey, Nick.
Oh, yes, Matty.
Yep, there were prints on the window. They match Pete Arnold's.
That's so.
And the medical examiner says he thinks it's poison.
Just in the glass that Lasher drank from?
No, in both glasses. The murderer must have slipped the poison into the bottle before it was poured.
I see.
Well, one thing is sure. Sanders didn't kill him. He was with us all the time.
Thank you, Miss Bowen, for those kind words.
Well, I'll get back to headquarters in case something breaks down there.
Okay, Matty. You'll phone me just as soon as the poison's identified?
You bet I will, Nick.
Good.
The minute I find out.
Well, 2 lucky things happened to me tonight.
That's so.
Lasher is dead, and I'm saved from bankruptcy. Also, I ran into Nick Carter, who furnished me with a perfect alibi. I'm not even suspected of the murder.
Well, you're a lucky man, Mr. Sanders. Now, there was something said about a fee.
The fee? Oh, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I've got the cash right with me. Here, in $500 bills.
Oh. looky.
Yes, there you are, Mr. Carter. $10,000 for 3 hours' work.
Sanders, how does it happen you're carrying all that money around?
Well, I always carry a lot of cash.
Wouldn't be that you purposely had that much on you so you could wave it under my nose if I didn't want to take the case.
Why, I didn't even know I'd meet you.
No? When you collided with me, the radiator of your car was almost cold, yet you said you'd been driving around.
Well, I had been.
I doubt that. I believe you were parked at the curb until you saw Patsy and me start away from my house. I believe you were waiting for us.
Are you trying to say that I framed that smash-up?
I am. You deliberately planned to have me furnish you with an alibi.
I suppose next you'll say that I actually murdered Lasher.
Yeah, I think you did.
Well, oh, Nick, how could he?
Carter, that's crazy. How could I have been with you and be at this house at the same time?
I don't know the answers yet, but I'm going to find them. I'm sure you killed him.
I don't have to stand here and listen to slander.
You're not free to leave yet, Sanders, so stick around.
Don't worry. I'll be around if you need me.
Nick, what's going on here? You just took a $10,000 fee from a client and then accused him of murder.
That's right, Patsy.
Well, I don't understand. He was with us when it happened. You and I are his alibi.
Yes, I know. But in spite of that, I'm positive Sanders killed William Lasher.
As the case moves swiftly to a climax, Nick and Patsy serve as the alibi for the man Nick accuses of murder. In just a moment, we'll learn whether Nick can make this accusation stand. Now, back to the case of the Perfect Alibi. Today's adventure with Nick Carter, brought to you by new post-war Old Dutch cleanser. It is a short time later. The police are gone. Nick and Patsy are upstairs investigating Lasher's bedroom.
Well, nothing here that gives us any clue.
You really think he murdered Lasher?
I do.
Well, what about Pete Arnold? He swore he'd kill Lasher someday.
Pete Arnold didn't do this job.
Well, how can you be so sure about that?
Look, Patsy, Lasher knew Arnold was dangerous. Would he have invited him in for a drink?
No, I don't suppose so.
Besides, men like Arnold don't use poison when they kill. Yes?
It's me, Joey.
Oh, come on in. Yes, Joey?
Well, I thought I'd see if there was anything I could do.
Oh, yes, perhaps there is, Joey. Lasher was obviously a hot-tempered man. Was he always that way?
Oh, no, sir. That was just on the surface. Underneath, he was a swell guy.
Oh, that's so.
Why, he built a new wing on the hospital, and it cost him $250,000. That's the Blystone wing.
Why'd he use that name?
Because he didn't want his own name on it. He didn't even want anybody to know he'd paid for it.
Well, who was Blystone? Anyone special?
Oh, yes. Mr. Blystone saved Mr. Lasher's life in the First World War, and he was nearly killed doing it.
Oh.
He used to come here every year to talk about the war and old times and stuff. It was sort of an anniversary.
You know where Blystone is now?
Oh, he died 5 years ago.
Must be Matty calling about the poison, Patsy.
Oh, I'll get it.
Okay, thanks. About this Blystone.
I'm coming. Oh, drat dark stairways like that.
Are you all right, Patsy?
Oh, Patsy. Nick, I tripped.
Well, never mind. Are you all right?
Are you hurt, Miss Bowen?
No, I don't think so. There was something stretched across the stairway. I felt it hit my ankle, and then I lost my balance.
Gee, that's too bad.
Sanders did that.
Huh?
Getting scared. He knew I expected a phone call and wanted me to break my neck, but he tripped you instead.
But what was it that tripped me?
This is an open stairway with a railing on both sides. You could have passed a wire or a cord across the step, pulled it up as you came down, then pulled the cord free and got away.
Oh, gosh, what a dirty trick.
I'll say. Help me up, Nick.
Okay.
I'm all right.
All right, let me help you into the studio, Patsy.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down there and rest for a bit.
Thanks, Nick.
How's your foot? Okay?
Much better.
All right, there you are. Take it easy now until you feel okay.
I will. Oh, Nick, that Sergeant Matheson probably wondering what on earth's wrong.
Shall I answer it?
No, I'll get it. Nick Carter speaking.
Look, why don't you answer the phone? I was getting all set to come out there and see if you were still alive.
I'm sorry, Matty. Patsy tried to answer your first call, but she fell down the stairs.
She fell? She didn't hurt herself?
No, I don't think so. Nothing serious.
Oh, good. Well, your hunch was right, Nick. The autopsy shows the liquor was poison. That was potassium cyanide in the bottle and both glasses.
So that's why it worked so fast.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you better watch out for Pete Arnold. My boys never did see him leave the place.
Thanks, Matty. I'll do that.
What'd the sergeant say, Nick?
Says it was poison, cyanide.
Oh.
Hey, Joey, were there any more glasses to this set Mr. Lasher used?
Not that I know of. I never saw more than 2 of them.
I see. Hey, this brandy. It's imported from France. More than 40 years old.
Golly, it must be priceless.
It is if you go in for that sort of thing. Now, to whom would Lasher serve 40-year-old brandy? Have to be somebody very special.
Mr. Carter, I remember now.
Yeah, what?
Mr. Blystone, every time he came here, that bottle of brandy would turn up.
Well, now.
And about a year, once about a year since Mr. Blystone died, I'd found the bottle here on the desk again with the 2 glasses.
Did Lasher drink much?
He never drank, Mr. Carter, except, well, maybe the times I found the bottle left on the desk.
Nick, come here quickly, by the window.
Yes, what is it, Patsy?
The 2nd floor of the garage. Watch that window right in the middle.
Yes. Someone's looking out. Someone with a cigarette in his mouth.
Could that be Pete Arnold?
I don't know, but it won't take me long to find out. Watch it now, Patsy. You may... Get down.
Nicky.
Look, you stay right here. Don't move.
But what are you going to do?
I'm going around the other side. He's out of the garage now and around the west corner. I saw the gun flash.
Oh, Nick, please be careful.
I'll be careful. Now, if I can just make it to the... Still shooting over the other way. Now, if I jump in fast... Drop that gun! Why, you... That'll hold you.
Nick, did you get him?
I did. He'll be with us as soon as he wakes up.
Having trouble, Mr. Carter?
Mr. Sanders.
Yeah, Sanders, where have you been while all the fireworks were going on?
I was just walking around, thinking.
Okay, suppose you take hold of Pete's legs. We'll carry him into the house. Then we'll all do some thinking. Together. Okay, 1 handcuff around this wrist, the chain behind the steam pipe, and the 2nd cuff on his other wrist.
Which takes care of Pete Arnold for the time being.
Carter, why did you bring Arnold upstairs? Why not just turn him over to the police?
Because there are no police here at the moment, Sanders. Matty took his men away. Figure that whoever had been prowling around had gone by now.
Pete's waking up, Nick.
Where am I?
All right, cut it, Pete. You're not fooling anyone. I'm Nick Carter. Try to kill Patsy and me.
Oh, what a sap I've been. What a sap.
Pete, did you kill Lasher?
No, I was going to, but when I looked in the window, he was sitting there, dead.
Then what happened?
I heard the cops moving around, so I hid in the garage.
Why?
Because I had to. If the cops seen me here, they'd have framed me for the job.
Nobody's framing you, Pete. But the police are going to ask you a lot of questions.
Well, I guess I'll be here when they come.
Is this all you're going to do, Carter? Sit here in the study and wait? Aren't you going to send for the police?
I'll be glad to, Sanders. You decided to confess?
You're crazy, Carter. Here you have a man who swore he'd murder Lasher, who even tried to shoot you. Don't you know when you've caught a killer?
Sanders, there's an old photograph hanging on the wall here behind Lasher's desk.
Huh?
Looks like some of the men from Lasher's old infantry company.
Yes, that's what it is, Mr. Carter.
Oh, I know that picture. I've got a copy of it.
Uh-huh. You're the third one from the left, aren't you?
Yes.
Who are the others? Can you name them?
Yes, most of them. Brown, Morrison, Kelly, Blystone.
Then you knew Blystone.
Of course I did. He's my sergeant. But if you're trying to tie him into this, you're wrong. He's been dead for 5 years.
Yeah, so Joey told me. Oh, Patsy.
Huh?
Come into the living room a minute, will you?
Of course, Nick.
You too, Joey.
Sure, Mr. Carter.
Now listen, both of you.
Yeah?
I'm going to accuse Sanders of murder again, point blank. And I'm going to show him how I can prove it.
Gee, can you do that?
I'm going to try.
I get it. You want to make him so desperate he'll do something that will give himself away.
That's it.
Oh, but what about Pete Arnold?
I've told you, Patsy, nothing as far as Lasher's murder's concerned.
But if Pete didn't do it, and Sanders was with us, who was with Lasher when he was killed? Somebody had to be.
Patsy, when Lasher died, there was no one with him except possibly a ghost.
Well, a ghost? Nick, are you trying to tell me this is a supernatural case?
No, simply the work of a murderer who planned every move well in advance.
Oh.
Now, let's get back to the study while I tell Sanders how he murdered Lasher without even being present.
Well, be careful, Nick. Sanders may have a gun.
I shouldn't be surprised. That's where Joey comes in.
Me? Oh, gosh, I'll do anything I can.
Okay, Joey, take one of those heavy bookends off that table. Go out of the house and around to the back. You have 3 minutes to reach the windows looking into the study.
But then what do I do?
Joey, when the time comes for you to act, you'll know it without me telling you.
Oh.
Well, you back again, eh, Carter?
Yes, Sanders. Want to establish some facts.
Oh?
You knew Lasher and his dead friend Blystone from World War I.
Suppose I did.
You knew that Blystone saved Lasher's life, and that Lasher and Blystone made a pledge after the war was over to meet once a year and celebrate the rescue.
Does that make me a murderer?
Now, Lasher never used liquor except once a year, when he and Blystone each drank a small glass of this fine old brandy, and that celebration always took place on the same day, the date of Lasher's rescue, a date you knew because you were there when it happened.
So, 2 men celebrate an anniversary, and that makes me a murderer.
It does because you knew about it. Joey tells me the bottle and the 2 glasses were kept in plain sight in the cabinet over the desk. You must have seen them many times. It's been very easy for you to come here to see Lasher, and then, while you were waiting here in the study for him...
So that's it.
Get it, Patsy?
Of course. Sanders poisoned the bottle of brandy when he was here over 2 months ago. He knew it wouldn't be used until tonight, and he planned to set up an alibi for the exact time when Lasher would be killed.
All right, both of you, put your hands up fast.
Oh, I told you he had a gun, Nick.
Get him up. Thank you. So you found out about me.
I did. You were too anxious to have Patsy and me be your alibi, and you were too eager to pay too much money for such a small job.
I'm admitting nothing, Carter. But don't move, either of you. I have plans for you.
Sanders backs away, his finger tightening against the trigger. We'll see what Nick does about this in just a moment. Now for the conclusion of the case of the Perfect Alibi. Today's adventure with Nick Carter, brought to you by new post-war Old Dutch cleanser. Sanders slowly levels his gun at Nick and Patsy as he says,
Here's where you and Miss Bowen get it. I hope you're ready.
Down, Patsy!
Oh, nice going, Nick. That was some haymaker you landed on his jaw.
Well, he won't do any more shooting for a while.
Was it okay, Mr. Carter?
Ah, you were marvelous.
You were wonderful, Joey.
Oh, gee, thanks, Miss Bowen. Boy, is he out cold.
Well, Nick, your plan seems to have worked.
Yeah. When Joey smashed the window, Sanders reacted just as I hoped he would.
And that gave you a chance to go for him.
Yeah. Well, Matty will have 2 prisoners now. Pete Arnold and Sanders.
Gosh, it's hard to believe. Sanders killed Lasher and wasn't even here when it happened.
That's right.
Then Blystone was the ghost who was with Lasher when he was killed.
Right.
Oh, gosh, Nick, that was a clever scheme.
Yes, and safe, too. The brandy was never used for anything else.
He simply set a murder trap and waited for the reunion to set it off.
Right. Which is murder in the first degree, as he'll find out very shortly.
Pay to the order of the community chest. $10,000. Nick, this is the first time in a long time a murderer's money has helped a worthy cause.
A murderer's money? Well, I like that. That's my money, Patsy. I earned it by giving Sanders the alibi you wanted.
Oh, that's right, you did. Now, if you'll just sign the check, I'll get it into the mails right away.
All right, then you can go home. It's too bad you had to miss the play, Patsy.
Yes, it's a shame. It was a mystery, Nick. Honestly, I love mystery plays more than any other kind.
Nick Carter, Master Detective, is presented each week at this time and over these same stations by the Cudahy Packing Company, makers of new post-war Old Dutch Cleanser. Nick Carter, Master Detective, produced and directed by Jock McGregor, is copyrighted by Street & Smith Publications, Incorporated. Charlotte Manson is featured as Patsy. Ed Latimer plays Matty. Today's script was written by Norman A. Daniels. Original music is played by Henry Silverne. This program is fictional, and any resemblance therein to actual persons living or dead is purely coincidental. This is Bob Martin saying, when minutes count, use new post-war Old Dutch Cleanser. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Did you ever wonder why the Cudahy Packing Company was producing Old Dutch Cleanser? That's what they used to clean up the slaughterhouses. And so, well, they didn't call them, well, did they call them slaughterhouses? They might have. But, yeah, they produced it and they decided to sell it. So there you go. Nick Carter, Master Detective, 78 years ago, October 19th, 1947, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. If you like what we do, drop us a note to classicradio.stream. And if you'd like to support us, just buy me a copy. You can do that, too. Coming up in just a moment, just the facts, ma'am. Jack Webb with Dragnet.
Americans have always been noted for their know-how. And you young men in search of a career, you can put this practical talent to excellent use in one of our nation's many engineering schools. At the present time, we need engineers. We need them to maintain our scientific and engineering superiority. So look to your future, to America's future. Plan now to become an engineer.
Now we go back 73 years, October 19th, 1952, Jack Webb, Dragnet, and the Big Pill.
Sound off for Chesterfield. Chesterfield, only cigarette in America to give you premium quality in both regular and king size, brings you Dragnet. Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to homicide detail. Naval intelligence tells you that 2 Marines have been picked up with the shore patrol. They're reported sick. One is in critical condition. Foul play is suspected. Your job? Investigate. Here's what leading tobacco publications have had to say about king-size Chesterfield. U.S. Tobacco Journal, Atlanta, Georgia. Chesterfield king size is going strong. One jobber reordered twice this week in addition to his regular order. And the Chicago Weekly, Tobacco Leaf, reports more calls for Chesterfield king-size cigarettes than for most brands being marketed. The reason for king-size Chesterfield's amazing success is this. All king-size cigarettes give you quantity, but only Chesterfield king-size gives you quantity plus quality. Premium quality. That means Chesterfield king size contains tobaccos of better quality and higher price than any other king size cigarette. The same fine tobacco as in regular Chesterfield. Enough more of this tobacco to give you over a fifth longer smoke. So remember, Chesterfield is the only cigarette to give you premium quality in both regular and king size. Buy them either way you like them. Chesterfield gives you the best possible smoke. Much milder.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. from beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, July 10th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of homicide detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Lorman. My name's Friday. It was 7:58 a.m. when I got to room 42. Homicide.
Morning, Joe.
Hi.
Just get in?
Yeah.
Anything in the book?
I'm looking.
What's the matter? You hacked about something?
No. Why do you ask that?
I figured you're sore about something. What'd you do, take a sour pill? You keep this up, you won't be asked to pose for toothpaste ads.
Well, that's funny.
All right, Joe. Tell your Uncle Dudley. What's the matter?
Not at that court deal yesterday. It was miserable.
Thing you and Gaffney been working out?
Yeah, the White Glove Bandit came up while you were out on vacation. Spent over a month on it. Covered it from every angle.
Yeah?
It looked like we had the guy any way he turned. We had an idea how much he'd taken on each job. Lee thought he traced him on every move he made on each of the deals. We figured we really had the guy. DA's office thought so, too.
They quit him?
Yeah. Let him walk right out. 12 men, good and true. Let that cheap hoodlum walk right out on the streets a free man.
Well, that's the way it goes sometimes.
Is there Mr. Friday here? Yes, sir. I'm Friday. Is something I can do for you?
Well, I'm Richard Houston, Naval Intelligence. Deputy Chief Brown directed me to you.
I see. Well, it's my partner, Frank Smith. Lieutenant Houston.
Hello, Smith.
Like, sit down, sir. What is it we can do for you?
Well, we got a weird one. That's why we thought your department ought to be in on it. About all I can tell you is just the skeleton of the thing. We don't know all the details. We haven't gone into it completely yet. We figured you fellas would like to be in on it from the beginning. Looks like it's going to be a police investigation.
Yes, sir.
To begin, I should go back 3 weeks ago and tell you the story as near as we've been able to reconstruct it.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Well, a couple of Marines left the base. They'd just gotten back from Korea, both on a 48-hour pass. We figured they came up here to L.A. They had a lot of back pay in their pockets. We don't know where they started, but they ended up in a cheap hotel. We got a call from the shore patrol early Monday morning. They'd gotten a complaint that the two boys were causing a disturbance in the hotel. They picked them up and found they both were in a pretty bad way. They had them shipped to the Naval Hospital down at Long Beach. By the time they got there, they were really rocky.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but I don't quite see just how we're connected with this.
Well, I'm getting to that.
I'm sorry.
All right, I'm a little long-winded. Anyway, last night, the boys had been AWOL for over 2 weeks. They were brought into the hospital, like I said. Doctors did what they could, but it was too late to help. One of the boys died late last night. We're not sure about the other one. That's where you come in.
Sir?
They were both poisoned.
9:06 a.m. Frank and I talked with Captain Lorman, then we checked out a trip car and left for Long Beach. When we got there, we talked with the doctor in charge. He told us that it would be later that night before the boy would be completely out of danger. He said, however, that we could talk to him if we phrased our questions so that the answers could be kept fairly brief. We looked over the boy's record. His full name was Jack Wayne Walker, age 24. He'd enlisted in the Marine Corps on January 14th, 1950. He'd spent almost a year in the Far East, and his service record had been good until this time. The record of the victim, PFC Edward Monahan, was pretty much the same. The boys had both come from the same town in Arkansas. The date of their enlistment was the same. They'd served overseas the same time. At 3:48 p.m., the doctor ushered us into Jack Walker's room.
Who are you?
Police officers, Jack. We'd like to talk to you.
Well, what's it about? I haven't done anything. At least I don't think I did.
No, it's not that. We'd like to find out what happened while you were up in L.A.
Well, I killed my buddy up there. That's what happened. You heard about that, didn't you?
Yes, we did. That's what we want to talk to you about.
Poor Ed. A year in Korea. Guys taking pot shots at us. Cold, mud. Then we got to come back here to get it. I didn't trust that little crumb. I knew we shouldn't have had anything to do with it.
Well, you shouldn't have trusted who, Jack?
Stubby.
You know the rest of his name?
No, just Stubby. I just can't believe it about Ed. We shoved off for L.A. going to have a last fling. Ed was getting married as soon as we got home.
All right, if you could just start right at the beginning.
Oh, sure. Well, first we both had a 48-hour pass. We figured to go to L.A., like I said, for last fling. A few drinks, look at some of the lights, have a little fun. Sort of a bachelor party for Ed before he got hitched, you know. Well, we pulled into town. Let's see, I think it was Saturday morning. A couple of buddies told us about a joint up there where we could have some fun.
Yeah.
Well, we head up there, and nice little place that hour in the morning, I guess about 10:30. Well, we start in to drink. It gets pretty foggy after that. Like little parts in a jigsaw, you know. You sort of see a little bit of everything, but the whole picture ain't there.
Yeah.
Well, I remember we hung around the place for 2 days, and then it all really goes black. The next thing I remember, we woke up in some flea bag. I remember looking at the calendar on the wall. We was already a couple days AWOL. Ed and I talked about what we should do. And then we get to trying to think up an excuse for the CO for being AWOL. And with our CO, ain't easy. He's had experts try. Ed says he figured out something, so we start for the bus depot, get back to base. On the way, we pass this bar, and Ed says, well, maybe we ought to stop and have one more for the road, so we do, and I don't remember much for a couple more days.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember once we stopped and watched the guy get tattooed. Ed and I got talking about it, whether or not we should have it done. Finally, figured it was kind of kid stuff, so we didn't. I remember that because it was right after we left the tattoo place, we went to this bar where we met Stubby.
Now, this is the fellow that you were talking about?
Yeah, it's him.
And you met him in a bar?
Yeah. Ed and I were sitting there trying to figure out what we was going to do, We were pretty broke by this time, and then, we was over 2 weeks AWOL. Anyway, Slicer, we had big trouble.
Yeah.
Well, we walked into this place. It was about 4:35 in the afternoon. At least near as I can tell, that's about what time it was. The whole deal gets kind of foggy. We sat down at this bar and ordered a drink, and just sitting there minding our own business, trying to figure what we ought to do. Then this Stubby joker comes up, sits down next to Ed, brings a drink with him.
He was in the bar when you came in, is that right?
Yeah, well, at least I think so. I didn't pay much attention, but he had a drink when he come up to Ed and me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, he got to talking about the core, and next thing we know, he's setting up the drink.
Mm-hmm.
The way we was fixed, as long as he wanted to buy, we wasn't going to argue.
Mm-hmm. Did they seem to know this Stubby in the bar?
Yeah, a girl who waits on tables called him by name.
All right, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, well, this Stubby kept going on about how he liked the core and how he'd won a whole flock of citations in Korea. Told us all about the time he'd spent in Japan. First, we thought he was just throwing a bunch of coconuts at us, but we'd ask him about places in Korea and things you could only know if you was there. He'd come up with the answers all right, but even with all that, there was something that just didn't ring true with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, long about 8 or 8:30 that night, Stubby got in a thrash with the bartender, something about the price of the drink, so he suggested we go up to his place and get a jug, and drink up there. Well, I wasn't too hot for the idea, but Ed said we had nothing to lose. We didn't have a sack for the night, and there wasn't much dough left, so we shoved off with him.
Where'd this Stubby live?
A hotel down on 5th. I'll tell you how to find the place.
Same place you were picked up in?
Yeah.
We got the address then.
Oh, then okay.
Well, what happened when you got Stubby's room?
Well, we cracked the jug, sat around drinking for a while, and then Ed and I went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, the next morning we had the biggest hangovers in the entire United States and Canada, both of us. We felt miserable. Ed started beefing about the cheap booze Stubby'd rung in on us. That's when he tried to tout us on them pills.
What pills are those?
Oh, them things supposed to relieve hangovers.
Oh, you mean the kind they sell in drugstores?
Oh, no, not them. Stubby told us about that one. He'd come back to the States. He'd stood some duty in a hospital and said that while he was there, he got them pills. Said there was a special prescription that they was great for head shrinking. He wanted us to try them.
Did you?
Well, no, not right away. He kept after us, though, kidding us about being big, tough Marines with a hangover. And then he took one of the pills, leastwise we thought he did. So Ed and I figured then we didn't have anything to lose.
You took one of these hangover pills then, did you?
Yeah, we both did.
Mm-hmm. What happened then?
Well, nothing right away. Stubby said it'd take a little time for it to take effect. We got up and started to get dressed. Ed and I thought we'd better get back to the base, We'd probably be in enough trouble as it was without worrying about a hangover.
Yeah. You left the room?
No, we was just getting our stuff together, and Ed took sick. Said he had awful pain in his stomach, like a cramp, We asked Stubby if the pill could have caused it. He said no. It must have been the booze.
Yeah.
Well, right about then, I was getting ready to mop up the place with this Stubby. I figured sure he'd given us a Mickey. I couldn't figure why, though. Then it hit me.
That pill, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Real bad cramps in my stomach. I got real dizzy. The room started to go around. And we asked this Stubby to call a doctor, and that's when we knew he was really in trouble.
How's that?
Well, we knew then he was nuts off his trolley. And neither of us could walk. Ed doubled up and passed out, and I could hardly keep awake. We both just lay there on the floor. I kept asking this bum to get us a medic.
Mm-hmm. Did he?
No, he just stood there and laughed at us. Laughed like a crazy fool. He kept saying we was big, strong Marines. We should be able to take a little stomach ache without running to a doctor.
At no time did he make any attempt to get you medical help?
No, just like I said, he just stood there and laughed at us. Then he got real mean. Got crazy leer on his face. Said he'd show us that he'd fix us up good for what we'd done.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I don't know. All I thought about was getting Ed and me to a doc. About this time, I didn't much care what the little screwball did. Then it really started harping on how he's getting even with us. I tried to get at him. I'd have killed him if I could have. I tried to get at him, but I fell and went out, I guess. And that's when he said that thing about that we wouldn't be the last ones he'd get.
What?
Well, he said like this, you guys are the first, just the first. But there's going to be more, a lot more.
We We continued to talk to Jack Walker. He gave us a complete description of the man he'd known as Stubby, and going over the story again with him, there were a few changes in it, but none that couldn't be accounted for by his condition. We got the address of the bar where he'd met Stubby. We checked with the doctor, and he told us that both boys had been given a powerful corrosive poison. He went on to say that it was a miracle that Jack Walker was still alive. 9:26 p.m. Frank and I drove back to Los Angeles. We checked into the office and ran the name Stubby through the moniker file in R&I, but we found nothing. We got out a local and an APB on the description and the name. The stats office started a run on the M.O. Frank and I checked the hotel on 5th Street, and the manager showed us the room, but he said that it had been cleaned and occupied since the two Marines had left. Leighton Prince went over the room, but failed to come up with anything. We took the hotel registration card and booked it in as evidence. The man had signed his name as Alton Richards. The manager gave us the same description as the one we'd gotten from the Marines. We ran the name through R&I, but we failed to come up with any new leads. There'd been no replies to the broadcast, and the stats office had finished the run and had come up with 4 possible suspects. These were checked out, but they led us nowhere. 2:30 a.m. We checked the bar, but we found it was closed. Wednesday, 8:14 a.m. We briefed Captain Lorman on the developments, and then we went over to again check the bar where the two Marines were supposed to have met Stubby. The place was deserted except for one man drinking a beer. The waitress was sitting in a rear booth filing her fingernails. Frank and I went back to talk to her.
Yeah, something you want?
Well, police officers, miss. We'd like to talk to you.
Cops, huh?
Yes, ma'am. This is my partner, Joe Friday. My name's Smith.
Yes. Boy, does that sound phony.
Here's my ID card.
Yeah, it's Smith, all right. What do you want?
Will you mind if we sit down?
No, go ahead, live.
Thank you.
What's this all about?
Do you work here steady?
Yeah, most of the time.
What's your name, miss?
Vera. Vera Gay.
Well, Miss Gay, were you working here around the 8th or 9th or the 10th of July?
Yeah, and you can make it Vera.
Mm-hmm. You know most of the people who come in here regular, do you?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Wonder if you'd look at this description and tell us if you know the man here.
WMA. What does that mean?
White male American.
Yeah, WMA. 36 years, 5'7" to 5'9", 155 pounds stubby.
Yeah?
Yeah, I know him. Comes in here all the time. Nice guy. Loud when he gets drunk. He's always nice to me, though. Tells me I should be in pictures. You know, the movies.
Yes, ma'am. Have you seen him today?
No, he hardly ever gets in before maybe noon, 1 o'clock. It just doesn't bother you, does it? Am I following my nails?
Not at all.
It does bother some people, you know. Like running a piece of chalk down a blackboard.
Miss Stubby, does he have any other name? Did you know it?
Yeah, Paul Rogers.
That's another one, Joe.
No. Do you want to go ahead, miss?
I went out with him a couple of times, finally gave it up. I couldn't go that route.
What's that, ma'am?
All he talked about was either him in the Marine Corps and what a big hero he was, or else how he was going to get me in pictures, you know, movies.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't come out to California to get in the movies. No, I came out to be a private secretary, only those jobs are a little hard to get, so I work here. Make enough for coffee and cakes. Then when a job comes along, I'll take it. Work in a big office, nice boss. Who knows, he might even marry me. No, that movie hokum for me, no, sir, not your little Vera.
Did you work on the night of the 9th? It's the night before last?
Let's see. Yeah, I was in.
You happen to see the Stubby Rogers that night?
Well, I gotta think about that. Let's see. That was the night we had the fight just before closing. Yeah, he was in earlier.
Do you happen to notice if he was with anybody?
What's this all about? He do something you want him for?
No, we just like to talk to him.
Yeah. Well, if he did anything, we had nothing to do with it. This is a good place. We got nothing to do with the people who come in. Got the price of a drink, they get served. We don't ask for trouble.
Oh, we aren't going to cause any trouble, miss. We just want to talk to this Rogers.
Yeah, well, as long as we aren't rung into it.
Do you remember if he was with anyone?
Yeah, he was with a couple of Marines. Left with him, had a beef with Sam. He's the night bartender. Complained that the drinks were too high. I don't know what he was crying about. He's been drinking here a long time. Never had problems before.
You saw him leave with these two Marines then?
Yeah, 3 of them walked out. I think actually they sort of floated out. The 2 kids were really boiled.
Do you remember what time it was when they left?
Oh, that'd be kind of hard to tell. We were pretty busy.
It was pretty important, miss.
Let me think. I guess maybe around 8, maybe 8:30, around in there. It's just a guess, though.
Do you have any idea where this Rogers lives?
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. Hotel on South Hill.
Can you give us the address?
Yeah, I got it in my purse. Yeah, I should have known he was a phony. Always saying it's how he could get me in pictures, you know, in movies.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't come that way. Don't you understand? I didn't come out here to get in pictures. I came out to be a private secretary. Here's the address. Here, keep it. I won't be using it anymore.
All right, thank you, Miss Kay. Here's our card. If you think of anything more you think we ought to know, we'd appreciate a call from you.
Yeah, thanks.
Sure appreciate your help.
Well, you never know. Maybe I'll need your help sometime. Matter of fact, you might be able to lend me a hand.
What's that, miss?
You know any picture producers? You know, movies?
Frank called the name Paul Rogers into the office, and a supplementary broadcast and an APB were gotten out. A stakeout was arranged on the bar. We went back to the city hall, and a check through R&I on the name Paul Rogers netted us nothing. We drove over to the hotel on South Hill. The manager told us that Rogers was not in his room. He went on to say that Rogers had not been using his room regularly for the past week or so, but that he had been in a couple of days before in the company of a soldier, and that as far as he knew, the soldier was still in. In the company of the manager, Frank and I went upstairs. The manager unlocked the door, and we went in.
Wait a minute, Frank. There's someone in bed. Yeah. Come on, you. How about it? Just a minute. How about it, Joe? I don't know. He's dead.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action. And now a report every smoker should hear. Nose, throat, and accessory organs not adversely affected by smoking Chesterfields. First such report published about any cigarette. A responsible consulting organization reports a study by a competent medical specialist and staff on the effects of smoking Chesterfields. For 6 months, a group of men and women smoked only Chesterfield, 10 to 40 a day, their normal amount. 45% of the group have smoked Chesterfields from 1 to 30 years, for an average of 10 years each. At the beginning and end of the 6 months, each smoker was given a thorough examination, including x-rays, and covering the sinuses, nose, ears, and throat. After these examinations, the medical specialist stated, "It is my opinion that the ears, nose, throat, and accessory organs of all participating subjects examined by me were not adversely affected in the 6-month period by smoking the cigarettes provided." Remember this report, and buy much milder Chesterfield, regular or king size.
Wednesday, July 11th, 12:40 p.m. We called the coroner's office, then we got in touch with the crime lab and the photographers. After the pictures had been taken, the body was removed. The victim was a soldier in his mid-30s. On the nightstand beside the bed, we found an empty pill bottle and a suicide note. The note was booked as evidence and turned over to Don Meyer for comparison with the handwriting taken from the hotel registration card that Rogers had signed. The men from Leighton Prince went over the place thoroughly. They came up with several classifiable prints. Fingerprints found on the bottle belonged to the victim. There were several other sets in the room which were not identified. The crime lab went over the room, and then they went back to the lab to make their analysis. All officers in the area were alerted to be on the lookout for Rogers. Frank and I talked to the manager of the hotel, a Henry Corey. He told us that Rogers had lived in the hotel for the past 4.5 months. He said that Rogers was quiet, kept pretty much to himself, and for the most part was a good tenant. He said that on several occasions Rogers had gotten behind in his rent, but that he'd always managed to come up with the money. The manager told us that in the conversations he'd had with Rogers, the main topic had been the Marine Corps and the suspect's record overseas. Rogers presented himself as an armchair general, constantly calling down the way the situation was being handled. He would refer to his own exploits, but when questioned about his leaving the service, he became vague and evasive. Additional handwriting samples were obtained and sent to Meyer. The manager told us that the latest victim had come in with Rogers the night before, and that at the time he'd been pretty drunk. They'd gone upstairs, and when Rogers had left in the morning, the manager had assumed that the soldier had gone the night before. 3:20 p.m. Frank and I went back to relieve the stakeout at the bar.
Back again?
Yes, Miss Gay.
Sit down.
Thank you.
It seems like every time I see you, I'm doing something with my nails. This morning filing them, now I'm filing them again. I'm going to put polish on them after this. I guess you think I'm pretty vain.
No, not at all, miss.
A new color called Frosted Rose. And pretty?
Uh-huh.
Kind of iridescent, what the label says. To sprinkle your nails with stardust.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a pretty bottle, too. They sure put things up nice nowadays. Uh-oh, here comes your boy.
That's Rogers. Yeah.
Yes, Stubby, what'll it be?
Perfect, Coke.
How's it going, Stubby?
Same old sixes, boys.
Yeah, pretty dull.
You're doing a great business.
It's early yet. Here's your drink. It'll be 4 bits.
There you go. All right, tastes good.
All right, Frank, let's go.
No trouble now.
Not unless he makes it.
Hi, fellas. Something you want?
You Paul Rogers?
Yeah, who are you?
Police officers. We'd like to talk to you.
I don't want any trouble in here.
No, there's not going to be any trouble.
Always fights. Why is it everybody comes into a bar and starts fights? Ain't there someplace else to be?
All right, come on, Rogers.
What for? You got nothing to hold me in.
We'll talk to you about that, too.
Well, let me finish my drink.
No, afraid not. Let's go now.
Look, I said I was going to finish my drink. Don't lean.
Let's can it, mister, and go.
I said I was going to finish my drink.
All right, mister, on your feet. Nothing on him. Let's take him to the office.
Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Sure appreciate it.
Well, what's that?
Thought for a minute there you were going to have a fight.
We took the suspect back to the city hall. Then we checked the name through the Marine base in San Diego. Lieutenant Richard Houston called back to say that Rogers had received a court-martial and a dishonorable discharge in January of that year. He'd been tried by a military court on a charge of stealing alcohol from the hospital pharmacy and selling it to the patients in the hospital. We stopped in handwriting analysis, and Don Meyer took an exemplar of the suspect's writing. When we checked by the office, there was a message from Sergeants Bill Cummings and Harry Hansen stating that their investigation had shown that the death of the soldier in Rogers' room was suicide beyond any doubt. 7:46 p.m. Frank and I talked to the suspect in the interrogation room.
Terrible thing, treating a veteran like
All
this.
right, let's save it, Rogers. There's a few questions we'd like some answers to.
I got nothing to hide.
All right, what were the conditions of your discharge from the Marine Corps?
What do you mean?
Did you get an honorable discharge or a dishonorable discharge?
I had a little trouble. Lousy officers never did understand what the problems of the enlisted man were.
What do you do for a living, Rogers?
I work.
Where?
Around.
You have a steady job?
What do you mean steady?
One you've held for, say, more than 6 months?
Haven't been out of the service that long.
Where'd you serve in the Corps?
Japan, Korea.
How long were you there?
About 4 or 5 months.
Why'd you come back?
I was wounded.
How?
What do you mean, how?
Just that. How were you wounded?
Well, I wasn't exactly wounded. I had my feet frostbit.
Mm-hmm. According to this here, you went AWOL and got lost. When they found you, your feet were frozen. Is that right?
What's that you got?
Your record in the Corps.
You got a lot of nerve digging into that. That's what you got me in here for anyway. I done nothing that puts me in line for this kind of treatment.
You know a couple of Marines named Ed Monahan and Jack Walker?
Monahan? Walker? No, I don't think I know.
You ever register in a hotel on 5th Street?
No, I live over on Hill.
You know a soldier named Marty Wilkin?
What's he got to do with it?
We found him dead in your room.
You're cracking up.
Yeah, sure, Rogers. We just dreamed we found that body.
Had nothing to do with him. Met him in a bar. He said he wasn't feeling too good. Said he didn't have a place to sleep. I let him have my room. Something wrong in that? Be a little kind, and now even that gets you in trouble.
You sure you don't know a Marine named Ed Monahan?
Positive.
There's something wrong, Rogers. Girl at the bar says she saw you leave the place with 2 Marines. They could have been Monahan and Walker.
Well, maybe I know them. I might and still not know their names.
You didn't take them up to a room you'd rented in a hotel on 5th Street?
No, I told you once I never lived on 5th.
Checked with our handwriting man. He says your writing matches some samples we found on the hotel register.
Maybe I write like somebody else.
No, we don't think so, mister. How about Jack Walker? Maybe you know him, you just didn't remember him.
No, I keep telling you, I don't know them.
Vera says you do.
Well, she's lying.
Is she?
Sure she is. She's trying to save her own skin.
From what?
She doesn't want to stand a rap for murder, can't you see?
Yeah, go ahead, Roger.
I'm saying nothing until I see my lawyer.
You sure you don't want to tell us why you did it?
I got nothing to say.
Makes it tough, Roger.
What do you mean?
Just makes it rough, that's all. Looks like you're going to have to stand a murder rap.
Yeah?
That's the way it looks.
Well, I didn't mean it. I didn't. I just wanted to get even, that's all. Just get even.
For what, Roger?
For the way the Corps treated me. Kicked me out. I didn't do anything really wrong. Dropped a little alcohol, that's all. No harm done.
They look at it a little different.
Yeah, that's the trouble. Stinking brass, they're all alike. They don't care what happens to us, the guys in the field. I tried to get a job. I looked everywhere. I just didn't fit. Seemed like everywhere I went, I got into trouble. I wanted like it was when I first went in. Like it was after boot camp. Walking down the street, girls looking at you, a Marine, a big man. They took that away from me. They wouldn't let me enlist again. I tried, but they wouldn't let me. You can understand what that'd do to a guy, can't you?
I don't know.
Well, it tore me apart. Right then, I decided to get even with all the stinking gyrenes in the world. They wouldn't let me in, and I hated them.
Yeah. Remember what happened the day you gave the 2 boys the pills, do you?
Sure, remember all of it. Oh, they cried for a medic. They weren't big men then. No, sir, they sure weren't.
All right, Rogers, we'll get a stenographer.
Tell me, Sergeant.
Yeah.
Did I get both of them?
No, Walker's going to be all right.
He the young one?
That's right.
A real nice kid. Lucky, too.
Is that right?
Yeah, no worries. Really got it made. Uniform, that's what does it. Uniform makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, well, don't worry. You'll get one.
The story you have just heard was true. The names were changed to protect the innocent. On November 13th, trial was held in Department 87, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Now, here is our star, Jack Webb.
Thank you, George Fenneman. In modern crime detection, the working detective depends on scientific research. He relies on the services of trained experts in ballistics, communications, fingerprints, to name just a few. He's interested only in facts. And as a smoker, you should be interested only in facts. That's why the report you heard earlier is so important to you. Nose, throat, and accessory organs not adversely affected by smoking Chesterfield. First such report ever published about any cigarette. Remember it. And next time, buy Chesterfield. Regular or king size, premium quality Chesterfield gives you the best possible smoke.
Paul M. Rogers was tried and convicted on one count of murder in the first degree. He was sentenced to life imprisonment in the state penitentiary, San Quentin, California. Just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Brasher. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Virginia Gregg, Jack Crucian. Script by John Robinson. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Sound off for Chesterfield. Either way you like them, regular or king size, Chesterfield gives you the best possible smoke. Much milder Chesterfield.
Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
73 years ago, October 19th, 1952, Dragnet on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Coming up next, we'll head to Pine Ridge, Arkansas. Check out the Jot 'em Down store. See what's going on with Lum and Abner.
Ladies and gentlemen, last year's traffic death toll was 37,500, a 7% increase over 1950. The National Safety Council believes that the best way to promote safety on the road is for each of us to know and obey traffic laws, to read and heed traffic signs. So be careful. The life you save may be your own.
Now we wrap up this Sunday podcast by going back to October 19th, 1942. That was 83 years ago for an episode of Lum and Abner and buying the property for the observatory.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. I don't know how many of you Lum and Abner listeners have ever stopped to think of it in this light or not, but don't you agree that a cheerful, happy home's a pretty important thing these days? Well, we believe that Alka-Seltzer can be a mighty big help in making yours a smooth-running household. You see, when you keep Alka-Seltzer handy, you're always ready for fast relief for headaches and for minor stomach upsets, annoying little ailments that can make such a difference in the way you feel and the way you act, and take the sweetness out of your home sweet home. So be prepared for the discomforts they cause and make yours an Alka-Seltzer home by getting a 30 or 60 cent size package of these modern effervescent tablets from your druggist the next time you're in his store. Now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Professor Sloan is slowly recovering from the shaking up he received when the proposed Edwards Observatory was demolished in a windstorm. His fellow astronomer, L. Edwards, has been spending his spare time searching for some other building which they can convert into an observatory. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum in the Jot 'em Down store and library.
He's trying to get Cedric to make a phone call for him. Listen.
Why don't you make this phone call yourself, Mr. Lon?
Because I don't want Squire to know it's me that's interested in buying the property.
Oh.
He always studies up some way to charge me 2 or 3 prices for anything he sells me. I want to outwit him this time. Go ahead and ring him up.
Well, now, what all this do you want me to say to him now?
Just say you're out-of-town feller that wants to know how much the old Buford place is selling for.
Yes, Bob.
It oughtn't to be worth more than $75, run down like it is and all. Don't say nothing about wanting it for observatory, because then he'll know who actually wants it.
Oh, yes, Mom, I won't. What's his ring?
Now, here, I'll get him for you. Now, try to disguise your voice, Cedric.
Yes, Mom, I'll disguise it good. What's my name?
Oh, I don't know. Ben Claremont.
Boy, that sounds good. Wait a minute, I hear something in the telephone.
Well, start talking then.
Oh, yeah. Hello? Hello? This is, Ben,
Claremont.
Claremont. Yes, Mom. Out-of-town feller, I think.
Ask him how much the old Buford place is selling for.
Say, Mr. Squire, how much is the old Buford place selling for? Just a minute. Hold on to the phone. He says $100.
$100? Hey, that's kind of high. Tell him you'll think it over and call him back tomorrow.
Yes, Mom. Hello? Mr. Squire, I'll call it over and thank you back tomorrow. I'll call you over and back,
say goodbye and hang up.
Goodbye and hang up.
Grannies, what's the matter with you, Cedric? You act like you're feared of the telephone.
Well, I get sort of mixed up, seems like.
They cut down the old pine tree. Oh, well, howdy, Cedric.
Howdy, Mr. Abner.
Did you get the delivers done?
Yeah, all done, Lon. Well, sure, I doggies. That Pomeroy cat had some little kittens this morning. The cutest little things I ever seen in my life.
Well, say, Abner, I want to discuss a business matter with you.
Business matter.
Can I go now, Mr. Lon?
Huh? Oh, yeah, sure, you can run along, Cedric. Much obliged for helping me.
Yes, Mom. I got to get over to the pinball machine. I'm late now. So long.
Yeah, so long, Cedric. What's this business matter, Lon?
Well, I don't know hardly how to start in here.
Huh?
You know what happened to the building we was aiming on using for the observatory?
Why, sure, I know that. The wind blowed it off the hill there the other day.
Yeah, so that means we got to get a new place. And I believe I found one.
Well?
The old Buford place there on the north edge of town.
That old run-down place?
Yeah, it is run down, but I figure we can fix it up enough.
Be a lot of trouble.
And I've looked all over town. It's the only place I can find.
Well, Lon, that place ain't on no hill. That's might now holler in there where that thing is.
It's sort of high there. It's higher than most any place else in town.
Oh, well.
I believe it's safer than being up on a hill anyway.
Yeah, of course, your business. You think it's all right? Why, go ahead and get it. I don't care.
Well, I'm aiming on doing that. Just one thing, though. Squire Skimp's asking $100 for the property.
$100 for that old place?
Yes, sir.
For the land's sake.
I'm going to try to study up some way to get him to come down on that price, but I know it's going to cost me and you at least $75.
Me and you?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to discuss with you, Abner.
Oh. Now, listen, Lon. We went all through this thing before. I've told you 1,000 or 100 times that none of my half of the money's going into no such a silly thing as an observatory.
Now, wait a minute, Abner.
No.
Wouldn't you do this if you knowed it would save a feller's life?
Save a feller's life?
Yes, sir. Professor Sloane's laying over there in a sick bed, pining away because he thinks we can't have no observatory since that other one blowed down off in the hill.
Oh, he ain't that sick, Lum. I seen him sitting up in a rocker in the backyard over at Sister Simpson's place yesterday.
Just for a short time, though. He ain't getting well as fast as he ought to.
Yeah,
and it's all on account of him being so unencouraged about the observatory.
Tis, huh?
Yes, sir. The one thing that'd help him more than anything else in the world would be to walk into his room and say, Professor, I've just bought us a place for the observatory.
Are you sure now that that's the reason you're so anxious to get this observatory?
What do you mean?
I'll tell you what I mean. You just want it 'cause it's going to be named after you, that's all. And you get to be the president of it.
That ain't so, Abner, and you know it.
Tis done it.
I'm doing this for the advancement of science and astronomy.
Prattle.
I'm a scientifics at heart, I know that. It's up to the scientifics to make advancements, even if folks do laugh at us and make fun of us, like they did Benjamin Franklin, for instance.
When did they laugh at him?
When he flied a kite in the rain and discovered electricity.
Well, no wonder, Lum. That's enough to make anybody laugh. A grown man standing out in a rainstorm flying a little kite.
Well, they laughed at Mr. Fulton when he discovered the steamboat, too. Don't forget that.
Steamboat? Whereabouts did he discover that at?
Oh, I don't know. In the Hudson River, I think.
Well, me, I could have done that myself. Anybody could discover something as big as a steamboat, special just sitting in the river. If he'd have discovered it out in the woods summers, why, then he'd have something to brag about. But, me, if he just sat on the bank and waited for the boat to come around the bend and then discovered it, ain't nothing to that.
Well, I don't mean discover it that way, silly. He was the feller that built it.
He was? What happened? Did he lose it?
Lose it? Of course not.
Well, what was he out trying to discover it for?
Oh, for goodness sakes.
If he built it himself, and if it weren't lost, he ought to know where it was at. Them things is awful big, Lum. All you have to do is look at them. They're right there. You don't have to hunt around to find a steamboat. I could see that 100 miles away.
Abner, I don't mean discover the way Columbus discovered America. I mean he was the one that discovered how the steamboat worked.
How? What steamboat worked?
The one he built.
You mean that he went to all the trouble to build a steamboat and never discovered how it worked till after he got it all done?
Oh, for goodness sake.
Swan to goodness, he must have been a genius of some kind. I've never heard of a feller doing anything like that before. I bound you he never even knowed what he's building when he started. Might have been aiming on making an electric washing machine that come out of steamboat.
No, he knowed all the time he was making a steamboat.
Well, you'd think he'd have studied up on them then and learned out how they work before he started in making one.
Well, he couldn't do that because there weren't no others to learn from. His was the first one.
It was. You mean they weren't no other steamboats in the whole world till that one?
Of course not.
And nobody ever seen one before?
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Well, how did he know what a steamboat looked like then?
Abner, I ain't going to discuss this.
Well, now, wait a minute, Lum. I want to find out about... Wait, whereabouts you going?
I'm going back in the feed room and concentrate on something. I don't know what. Anything to get away from here.
Well, now, don't get mad, Lum.
I ain't mad. I just don't want to have nothing more to do with a feller or don't want to help somebody that's ailing in a sick bed and wanting to get well.
Well, now, wait a minute now, Lum. I don't mind...
Yeah, howdy.
Oh, howdy, Grandpap.
Was that Lum that just went in the feed room and slammed the door there?
Yeah. I made him mad, I reckon. Maybe I oughtn't to have did it, I don't know. He might have been serious about wanting to help Professor Sloan.
Help Professor Sloan?
Yeah.
Help him do what?
Why, he wants to buy a place up... Oh, wait a minute. I believe I'll just call up Squire Skimp right now. I'll just surprise old Lum. I know it'll just tickle him to death, Grandpa.
What in the world are you talking about anyways, Abner?
Well, you see, Lum wants to buy a piece of property over here from... All right, wait a minute. Hello? Squire? This is Abner Peabody. Oh, just only tolerably, I reckon, Squire. How's yourself? Well... Say, Squire, I'd like to buy that old Buford place. Oh, what's his name? Well, has he already bought it? Going to call back tomorrow morning, huh? Well, sir, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give 115 for it then. Yes, sir. Do what? Oh, well, let me know after you talk to him, then, Squire. And say, Squire, don't say nothing to Lum about this. I want to surprise him. Yeah, don't mention it now. All right. Goodbye.
What in the world do you want to buy that old ramshackle place for, Abner?
It's for the observatory, but some other feller's trying to buy it now. Some feller by the name of Dan Clearport or Fairport or something.
Clem Freeport?
Yeah, that sounds like him. Do you know him?
Well, I've heard of him. Lives at Hatfield, I believe.
He does, huh?
Yeah, it seems like I've heard Dick Huddleston mention him.
Doggos, I believe I'll run over and ask Dick about him, man. I tell you, it'll just break old Lom's heart if he don't get that property. Grandpap, sort of keep eye on the store here for me. I won't be gone long.
Yeah, I'll watch it for you.
Don't tell Lom now that I talked to Squire.
No, I won't. Say, Abner, I want to apologize. Huh? Oh, hello, Grandpap. Whereabouts is Abner at? Oh, he went over to Dick's for a minute, Lom. Did you know a feller from Hatfield, Clem Freeport, was trying to buy the old Buford place, Lom? Buford place? Oh, my goodness, I better get hold of Squire right away and make a deal with him, Abner or no Abner. You reckon Clem's figured on moving to Pine Ridge, Lom? Not if I can help it, he ain't. Whereabouts do you hear this, hello, Squire? This is Lom. Squire, I hear you've got a buyer for the Buford place. 2 of them. Well, who's the other? Oh, you can't, huh? Well, look, I want to buy that myself. Huh? 125. Yeah, I know, but that's kind of high, ain't it? Well, let me do some figuring, and don't sell it till you hear from me. Yeah, I'll see you in the morning. All right, Squire. Goodbye.
Well, it begins to look like our old friends just can't get along without the old Buford place, doesn't it? And say, speaking of things you just can't get along without, we believe you'll feel that same way about Alka-Seltzer once you've experienced the comforting relief it offers for the dull, achy feeling of a cold. You really ought to try it, folks, and here's all you have to do. At the first sign of a cold, start at once to take care of yourself, get lots of sleep, eat sensibly, dress wisely, get ample vitamins, and start taking Alka-Seltzer according to the easy-to-follow directions on the package. See how much better it can help you feel. You'll want to use Alka-Seltzer as a comforting gargle, too, if a sore, raspy throat's a part of your cold discomfort. Remember this, and next time you catch cold, ask your druggist for Alka-Seltzer.
Old boys bidding against each other and don't even know about it. 83 years ago, October 19th, 1942, Lum and Abner here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Don't forget to join us tomorrow. We've got the shows of Sunday, October 20th, 1957, 68 years ago. The final Stan Freberg show. Sorry, Wrong Number, the start of the Suspense's 16th year on the air, and the final production of Sorry, Wrong Number starring Agnes Moorehead. There would be a repeat broadcast later on, but we'll tell you about that tomorrow. Also, an episode of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, The Mary Grace Matter, and William Conrad and Gunsmoke, and the story of Professor Lute Bone. And we'll wrap it all up with Claudia. That's all coming up on our Monday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Have yourself a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy what's left of your weekend and make it a good one, won't you please?